What the? There we go. Whoa. Okay. Okay. There we go. So, I will freely admit that I was one of those people who called this game unnecessary to the main story. And admittedly, it kind of is. But at the same time, it also kind of isn't. It is. I guess it would be probably be more accurate to say it is possibly relevant to the main story. We just don't know if and how yet. Otherwise, the only purpose this serves, assuming all theories are wrong, is as a lead-in to Dream Drop Distance. Hey, by the way, you need to go do this. Let's go. You know. This is. I like the behemoth in the background. This is how the characters in character find out what we have suspected and known for some time. That Sora is the connection between so many different characters. And is the method by which, you know, Xion, Axel, Roxas, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus are all going to have a good ending, if they're going to have anything at all. Can be returned, basically. Now, the game itself, unlike 358, which is a little cumbersome, if I'm being honest, this game's great. Like, if you can actually pick this up on the DS, I highly recommend it. The gameplay varies between, you know, it's got your typical Kingdom Hearts style combat, yeah, and then it's got like side-scroller jumping platforming, and then it's got turn-based ATB combat like an RPG, and then it's got, you know, Star Fox style shoot 'em up, and I think I'm actually missing a few in there. So it's got a decent variety of gameplay to it, which is awesome if you're actually playing it. Now, there's a few things that are pretty heavy topics to discuss in this game. The first is the biggest example of the droid effect, which we've been mentioning this entire time. This is where it really becomes clear just how much a digital projection can become a real person. However, the other thing is its relation to Kingdom Hearts Kai. Or Ki, if you prefer. Ki. Sorry, I got it dried out. Hard to say that right now. I've actually taken a few notes on Kingdom Hearts Kai, specifically so that I don't forget them and I can share them with you, and how it relates to this game. So, now, this is, in the PS3 version, this is again just a movie, but they did this way, way better than 358. Rather than just like dumping the cutscenes from the game into the game and adding text in between, they actually made new cutscenes to simulate the bosses and some of the dungeons and puzzles you go through. And it really feels like you're actually watching the events of the game rather than a slideshow of the events of the game. You know what I mean? They really did a lot more polish with the recoded PS3 thing than 358, which is funny. Yeah, this also has additional scenes which are plot relevant. So, without further ado...
Goodbye.
Nominee.
No, not goodbye. When I wake up, I'll find you.
Oh, I may have to mute soon.
And then there will be no lies. We're gonna be friends for real. Promise me, Nominee.
Yeah, I've known that for a while, Nicholas. Yep, gonna have to mute it. God damn this song. Screw EMI. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's the events of Kingdom Hearts 1. Oh my gosh, look at all these events in Kingdom Hearts 1 that are happening. Holy crap. Stuff from the different worlds. Man, they're going by really quickly, aren't they? Whew! Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 was a really short game. Yep. There we go. Man, look at all that data. Because we all know data is secretly the Matrix. Yep, more data. You might be wondering why it's re-examining the events of the first game here. Well, let's just say that something that really needs to be... really needs to be discussed, is why Jiminy's journal functions like this. Shion and Axel, both visible there. Did you see that? La 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 la. There you go, guys. Singing along with it, sort of. And of course, now we're zooming through Kingdom Hearts 2. Ah, no, Chaosbringer, no. Excuse me, Orderbringer. Not cool. So yeah, big battle against thousands of Heartless. Or 1,000 Heartless, I suppose. I notice how they go out of their way to show a clip of Zigbar for that little bit. They don't show Luxord or Syx or anybody else except for Xemnas and Zigbar. Just pointing that out. So we did it! Yay! Kingdom Hearts 2 is over! Yay! Whew! Ah, man, that was a quick lore run, wasn't it, guys? Holy moly. Okay, we made it back. Oh, thank God. Everything's okay. And nothing is wrong with anything. And Xehanort is defeated forever. And we're certainly not going to be having this thing about Naminé, who is arguably one of the major characters of this. Okay, I can finally unmute, I think. Stupid song. Sick of that song. And having to mute it.
So, now we've taken 2 journeys. One to stop the darkness from spreading, and the other to put all the lost hearts back where they belong. To tell the truth, neither one was easy, but I sure was glad to be the cricket to write down what happened. 2 journeys, both sitting quiet right here in these 2 books. But now, looks like the only thing left in one of them is a single line. Of course, maybe that's because they're the only words this book was meant to hold. And it's time to close it for good. But who exactly is this Naminé?
Their hurting will be mended when you return to end it.
A mysterious message.
Uh-huh. I certainly didn't write it. And you know, I never once let the journal out of my sight. I don't know when anybody would have had a chance to.
Their hurting will be mended. Gosh, Jiminy. Sounds like somebody needs help and doesn't know what to do. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Of course, but how? All the other pages are completely blank.
Sure, the words you wrote are gone, but that doesn't mean the journal is empty.
We're gonna get a little bit metaphysical here. And by a little, I mean a lot.
Do you know what you're up to?
He's got really good eyesight, Samurai.
Your Majesty! Everything's ready! Your Majesty! What Chipper said!
So they're about to create a matrix based off of the journal. I'm not even kidding by that. They're basically creating a digital world of all of the events in the journal. Oh my god, there's bugs everywhere! Ah, bugs!
What's going on? Jiminy's journal! I think it's gone completely nuts! Nuts? Where? That's not what I mean! I don't know what's causing it exactly, but there's something wrong with the worlds inside the journal. And we can't analyze that message for you either.
Isn't there something else we can try?
Gorsh, maybe if we could get in there somehow and fix the data, we could figure out what's wrong.
Hey, that's it! We could look for somebody already in the journal and ask them to explore the worlds and repair the data. That's a great idea, Goofy!
Somebody to explore the data from the inside.
And I think we know just the guy to do it. Am I right, fellas?
So, you guys know how I disagreed with Nomura that Sora was listening to Mickey at the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1? That it was way more likely he was talking to Ventus? Well, We're about to see Sora, sorta, in a Data dive into the heart of Data Sora being talked to by Mickey. So, yeah, some fairly obvious parallels here. It is also possible this is what Nomura was referring to.
See? Dale and I found a way to rewrite Sora's data.
We made him slightly more intelligent.
What are you talking about?
Chipper means we gave the Sora who's in the datascape the power to use his Keyblade. Now he can help us unglitch all the journal data. We think.
This data is a new Sora?
Yeah, are you saying he's not the same Sora we met on our journey before?
Your journey with the real Sora was all recorded into data. So he is the Sora we know from before, just another version.
For the sake of simplicity, I'll be referring to him as Data Sora henceforth. I don't think they ever actually call him that in the game, but that is who he is. I'll also be referring to the other character as Data Riku, and the other character is Data Roxas, and the other character is Data Namine, because that's whom they are. Now, I want to mention something, because this is very Kingdom Hearts, in a good way and a bad way. It's in a bad way because anybody thinking about this linearly is going to be like, well, this is ridiculous. It's in a good way because this actually makes perfect sense. I know that sounds weird, but bear with me. The idea here is they're casually creating an entire digital world where they have actually generated beings who effectively have the capacity for life, and they're asking them to go about and run around and do a bunch of experiences and adventures, which will probably get them real experience, which will then cause them to manifest into their own being. Which, again, makes perfect sense since nobody thinks about the consequences of that kind of thing in Kingdom Hearts. Remember how Ansem was so casually negligent about all those people he created in his data Twilight Town, which he then just deleted when he was done with them? Keeping in mind that a lot of those probably didn't have time to actually manifest, but they did have 7 days or so of experiences to draw on. So there was probably at least the beginnings of fledgling hearts there that he annihilated with his actions. Yeah, also, Tron is another excellent example of what I mean by a digital landscape, for lack of a better word to use. They actually refer to it as the datascape, is actually the term they use. But I usually equate it to the Matrix, because that is really effectively what's going on here. The Matrix, this is a digital realm, fully digital, but because this is Kingdom Hearts, anything that has the sufficient advanced potential and complexity within it to become its own self-being can and eventually will, given the right circumstances. I stress that right circumstances part. If I can use a parallel really quick, this is pretty much the biggest theme about Recoded in a nutshell. The droid effect is droids are so advanced and so well designed that they become sapient and sentient the longer they're around, right? I've talked about this many times. The significant part there is they go out of their way to memory wipe droids all the time because they know that there's that problem there. So they memory wipe them, reset them to default, so the vast majority of droids never actually become sentient or sapient. They never become their own self-beings. It's kind of the equivalent, to use it in a more horrifying sense, if you had like the ability to change someone's age, and so every time a child reached like age 2 or 3, you reverted them back to being a newborn baby. And then they would grow up again for a couple more years and start to become more of a person, and then you'd revert their memory back to being a baby over and over and over again. The catch is in Kingdom Hearts, most people aren't fully aware of the fact that that is a thing. They don't know about the droid effect. And frankly, they're kind of negligent with regards to how they operate. So they have deliberately created this droid, this Data Sora, and said, please do all these things for us. And as a result of that, he will actually grow a heart and therefore become his own being throughout the course of the series. Or throughout the course of the game, rather. Ah! I cannot agree with that statement, Thanatos. I mean, that's like arguing it's okay to torture someone as long as you remove their ability to feel pain. You're still torturing someone. Ah, yes, you did surprise me, Zoo Joker. Anyways, ignoring the ethicus and morality of the situation, which we're just going to leave aside, because that's all going to be opinion anyways. The other thing to keep in mind here is Jiminy's journal. The fact that Jiminy's journal was capable of doing this is something that needs to be discussed. And the fact that they... well, I want to save too much of that, but let's just say this game has a lot to do with Kingdom Hearts Kai. So, yeah.
And since he's still Sora, he can help us restore all the worlds to the way they're supposed to be.
Bugs!
What was that about?
I got no idea.
Well, there's no way for it to be exactly the same Titans, but similar?
Here.
Yes.
We'll run next door and take a look.
Datasaur is actually a lot smarter than Sora. He picks up on stuff pretty quickly. I often feel like Datasaur is how
Guess
Sora
Chip and
should
Dale
have been
must have figured things out.
written, you know?
Excuse me, Your Majesty, but what exactly is it we're doing here?
Well, you see, somebody left a strange message in Jiminy's journal. And the only way to find out who wrote it is by carefully analyzing every entry inside.
Oh, you're talking about in real life, Thanatos. Why are you talking about real life? Get that real life out of here.
Their hurting will be...
Oh, curious.
Ooh.
What is it?
You could just look at the monitor.
There's someone in the monitor.
Gorge! I thought that Sora was alone in there.
Who could that be? I don't remember writing this in the journal.
Let's see, is this... Yeah. That's actually Data Roxas right there.
Who are you?
Can you hear me? You gotta go after whoever that was. Fast!
He could have said something other than thank Naminé, but no. But no, the journal itself, sort of, is what wrote the message. Or more like a data backup of Naminé wrote the message. But, yeah, it's a
Did I
little
get myself lost?
convoluted.
Where could he have gone?
Watch out! They're the Heartless! It's time for you to use your power!
Use my what?
As of now, yes, no. We all know that Heartless Sora is going to be the last boss of Kingdom Hearts 3.
What's this?
And it'll be an 18-phase fight.
You gain the power to fight. It's also your power to survive. You're gonna have to fight sometimes. But don't ever forget. Keep your life burning strong.
Like I said, a lot of Mickey's lines are parallels to what was said to Sora back in the first game. Hey, Celestial. Like I said, Final Cloud, they did a much better job on this one. So really quick, just to make this clear, that Keyblade is a data projection. If I can parallel this for a moment. Let's say you go to a convention in real life, and you buy one of those Keyblade replicas. It's cool. It's metal. I mean, you could whap someone with it, but it's not actually a Keyblade. It doesn't have any of the powers or significance or anything. It's not a real Keyblade. It is, for all intents and purposes, a fake Keyblade. Doesn't mean it's fake in general. Just means it's a fake Keyblade. Make sense? That is what he's got right here. This is Keyblade.exe. It is a data projection of what the Keyblade should be able to do, but is not a real Keyblade. That's really important for later.
It's time to open the door. Just hold out the Keyblade.
Now, of course, the data Keyblade can still interact with most of the data of the datascape just fine, Because the datascape is programmed to react to something like a Keyblade, and the data Keyblade is designed to function like a Keyblade. But it is not a real Keyblade. If that blade was brought out into the real realm, and remember, we know that you can take digital things out into the real realm, it wouldn't function like a Keyblade. It would just be a chunk of metal. Because nothing out in the real world is programmed to react to it. Make sense?
Who are you?
First, are you okay, Sora?
You even know my name. Have we met somewhere before?
Well, sort of. I'm Mickey Mouse.
Also, as an aside, it's really a shame that Mickey is the one trying to explain a lot of this computer stuff to Sora, because he actually gets it wrong several times. It's not until Data Riku actually starts explaining that, we get something closer to a real explanation. Mickey really strikes me as someone who just has no idea how computers work at all.
I've never met the you in this world, but I do know you, Sora. And Sora knows me.
I mean, listen to that explanation.
We're really good friends.
What the hells?
And so, we've never met before, but you seem to know who I am, and we're friends. Is that it? I don't understand.
You see, I'm from another world, and gosh, it's kind of a long story. Anyway, there's this mystery me and my friends are trying to solve, but we can't get to your world, so we were hoping that maybe you could help us out.
What do I have to do?
Well, we're searching for an answer somewhere in that world you're in, and you're the only one who can find it.
Why's that? I don't know what's going on, but are you saying you want me to explore the island?
Yeah, and that's it exactly. And if there's anything you need, I'll be right here.
Ansem's or someone from before him, Thanatos.
Look for anything odd.
I found that already.
It's
These
pretty.
blocks.
It's actually pretty likely Ansem was
What are they
borrowing
doing
from
here
someone
on the
before him
island?
too, actually. So I guess it's the same answer either way.
Well, and that's part of our mystery.
All right. I'll ask around.
Thanks. Oh, and remember, Sora, we might be worlds apart, but you just say the word, and I'll do everything I can to guide you. No matter what happens, I'm always with you in spirit.
Oh, that's creepy.
After talking to your friends on the beach, you figured out that more mysterious blocks were popping up all over the island.
I don't even have to voice act these. One thing to make this clear. All this dialogue that Mickey is narrating, this is actually in the letter that's going to Sora at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. You remember he gets that letter in the bottle, and it's got a little Mickey symbol on it? The very, very end, right there. This is that letter that Mickey is narrating to him.
They also told you that the suspicious person in the black hood was last seen heading to some place called the Secret Place.
Probably because unlike the real Sora, his mind wasn't constantly being screwed up. I mean, really, Data Sora wasn't being messed with, other than one key thing later.
He came this way. Am I too late? Maybe he went through this door. Whoa! What now?
There's a road for the taking, if you end our world's aching.
That voice! Who's there? Mickey? Oh. Oh.
So naturally, because all of this is data that's already been written by Jiminy's actions...
What's that bright light?
He basically has no choice but to follow through the,
Gorsh, what just happened? Oh, I think I'm seeing stars.
the events of the first game, sort
What?
of.
Not again. Just look at what's been added to the journal. Somebody's gone and written in a brand new entry.
There's a road for the taking if you end our world's aching.
What does that mean?
If only I knew what to do.
Which world could they mean? Ours?
Oh, fellers, Look up there on the screen.
Huh? Could it be?
And we'll leave you in suspense about what they saw.
Guess I'm okay. But what was that?
This world has been connected.
Oh,
That's
it's
Data
you.
Riku.
Now stand tied.
Huh?
There's a road for the taking. If you end, our world's aching.
I don't understand that. Is it a riddle? So what am I supposed to do with that?
To make this place whole, the keyhole's the place.
The keyhole's the place? Hey, wait!
Actually, that might be Data Roxas, not Data Riku. Now that I think about it. So my bad, guys. That's Data
What's
Roxas.
that?
Sora, what do you see?
There's something weird here, Mickey. The guy in black left behind this, well, it looks like a keyhole.
Did he say anything to you?
He said, to make this place whole, the keyhole's the place. He must have meant this.
The keyhole's the place. I know. Sora, try using the Keyblade. You might be able to trigger something with it.
Roger that. I'll try it. Whoa! What is this place?
Sora, are you okay?
Yeah, I think so. But what's happened to our island?
I'm not sure. But whatever it is that's causing the glitches must be there.
If I get rid of it, will the island be restored?
I hope so. But be careful. Whatever's in there is powerful.
As an aside, really quick, I actually really like the leveling system of Recoded. It's actually neat. Your level, it's kind of hard to explain. You don't really have levels in the strictest sense of the word. What you have is a circuit board. And as you go through the world, you unlock new chunks of the circuit board, and you can connect different circuits to each other. And the wire, basically the different pieces, the wiring you'd use to make those connections, affect your stats. So you can put a strength stat, magic stat, strength stat, HP stat, strength stat, and those all connect between these two nodes, and that'll actually give you all that stat ups, and of course the access to the nodes. And most nodes are actually power-ups, like abilities, you know, like Ars Arcanum or whatever. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
I got it. Whoa!
Yeah, I guess it does have a lot of similarities to the Sphere Grid, especially functionally. Welcome to Glitched Darkside!
Whoa! Ah! Oh!
And once again, rather than just doing the and then they fought a boss, they actually try to make us see the boss fight. They really did a good job with Recoded here on the PS3. I mean, it's a little short in some cases, but at least they bothered to put the effort into it, you know? So I appreciate that. A lot, actually.
Huh?
Do you think Sora's all right?
Wait, I'm tracking him now. Whoa!
That has got to be such slow typing.
A new entry in the journal.
More hurts than the one we have just undone?
There's just no pleasing you, Final Cloud. But yes, I know. I still appreciate the effort they put into it. This is interesting. This is one of the things Recoded does, well, Coded in general does very well. So, yeah. That's an event that actually happened back in Kingdom Hearts 1. We just didn't see it.
Now that can't be right. If the data was repaired, we should be seeing the things that were written inside my journal, right? But what we just saw, that never happened. Or at least I never wrote it down.
You mean and showing us stuff you don't know about?
I wonder what's going on inside the journal.
Aha! We found Sora!
Gross.
Ah! Huh? Hey! Huh? How did I...
Hey, Sora, are you all right?
Mickey, where am I? What happened to me now?
You must have been taken someplace else. Tell me about what you see around you.
Looks like some kind of town. Hey, wait! The island! What happened back on the island?
Sort of, Takoida.
All the blocks disappeared. You did a great job, Sora.
Ooh. Am I glad to
There's
hear
another
that?
force at work here, Takoida.
So, now I'm in a strange town. But why? Is this place full of glitches too?
I don't know yet, but it could be. Would you mind checking it out and taking a look around?
All right. I'll see what I can find.
Telling you guys, Pluto is secretly Gilgamesh. I would like it in a weird way if we could debug code in real life like this. Okay, so there's bugs everywhere. Let me go into the code. There we go. Gotta destroy all the bugs. Okay, program works now.
Strange was happening in that world too. Huey, Dewey, and Louie decided to go investigate. You took off to find them, because you promised Sid you'd bring him back safe and sound.
Boy, does that bring back memories.
Oh, yeah. I remember it, too.
That's where we met Sora on our first adventure.
And also Yuffie, Aerith, Leon, too. Wonder how those guys are doing.
Interesting. So
Quality
that's where you
Assurance
three became
Battalion.
friends.
I got a question for you. When the journal got all digitized, we found the old entries, right? So, does that mean the Pluto that woke Sora up is the Pluto that's just made of his data?
Goofy,
Why,
you're smarter
yes,
than
Goof.
this.
Well, I'm wondering if there are data versions of all of us inside there, too.
Huh. That's a good question. Jiminy, what do you think?
I'm afraid, Your Majesty, that I don't actually have an answer to that question. As you know, the bugs are blocking our access to all of the data. It's quite possible that the entire data world has been fragmented, and that it's not a whole entity like we first thought. We just haven't figured it out.
Wait! It's okay! Sora is a hero!
Oh, yeah.
Junior hero.
You're right. I'm sure Sora will lead us to the answer. When you found Huey, he had a fragment of light. You sent him back to Sid's and then found Dewey. He had a light fragment too. Then you found Louie and one more light fragment. They created a keyhole, but with a piece missing. After that, you took Louie and headed to Sid's.
By the way, I'm not going to be pausing to explain too much, except at a few key points. So we're mostly just watching this one. It's pretty self-explanatory otherwise.
Louis, run! Go to Sid's and wait! I hope you're happy with all the trouble you've caused. What's this? Hey, is this another fragment? Huh? Where'd he...
Yes, sure you. A few Kai points, one might say.
I knew it. This is exactly like the keyhole that guy left for me back on the island.
Sora, can you hear me?
Mickey, I found another keyhole like the one from the island.
No,
If
Dakota.
this works the same...
Let me make this clear, by the way. Mickey, Donald, Goofy, Chip, Dale, Jiminy Cricket, Maleficent, and Pete. Okay, these 8 characters are the only non-data characters in the entire game. I want to make that fundamentally clear. There's only the 8 ones in the entire game. Everyone else we see, Sora, Riku, other characters, they're all data, okay?
way as the one before. All I gotta do is defeat whatever enemy is inside this keyhole.
Let me see if I understand. You're thinking this one might do the trick too? The source of the glitches for the world you're in might be inside that keyhole?
They put a voice filter on Sora's voice actor so he doesn't sound as old as he is. That's the reason.
That's right. I'll crawl inside and give that thing a piece of my mind. When I'm done, the town ought to be just fine. Hey, I gotta try.
Okay, but just promise me that you'll be careful, Sora.
You can count on that.
We did it!
Did you see me? How do you like that? Huh?
And now there's
Why are
bugs.
the blocks still here? Am I missing something?
That Heartless's power must be lingering. But don't worry. All you gotta do is use your power, Sora, and that'll end the glitches here once and for all.
Use my power?
You bet. You've got a power that's yours alone. Use the Keyblade and lock that keyhole for good.
All right, here goes.
Thank you, Sora. Because of you...
Alright, now to talk about
all
Kingdom Hearts
mystery
Kai.
is
No, I'm
solved.
kidding.
Yeah. But what about that guy in the black hood? I mean, he could be the one behind this whole mess.
Well, that's true.
It's another new entry.
It looks to me like a new message gets added every time a world inside the journal's repaired.
Yeah, just like before.
Hey, Shadow. Now, you'll notice there's a lot of cutscenes with no music, but they usually go out of their way to add a lot of sound effects, or at least have the scene be short. So you notice I'm not actually adding to the no music counter, because I feel like they did it more properly in this one. So here's another scene that we didn't actually see in Kingdom Hearts 1, but actually did happen. While they were getting together, Pluto went into the corridors of darkness, because of course he did.
That's funny. We were there. Was Pluto with us?
Well, I sure didn't write anything like that in the journal.
Hey,
my
you
God,
fellas
guys.
think that maybe the journal's trying to tell us something?
Heartless!
Here in the castle? But how?
I like how he's still using the Star Seeker after all these years, by the way.
We gotta check the rest of the castle now.
Wait a minute. Something's wrong.
It won't open.
They're trapped.
This is not our day.
Well, fellas, I hate to say this, but we're trapped.
Well, what? But that could be heartless, Roman the castle.
Huh?
Huh? What's that?
Probably
Undo
not,
the
Titans.
hurt to unbar the way.
Probably not. He is a dog,
We're
after all.
trying. It said we've already undone some of it, right?
Well then, we'll just have to keep going, repairing the journal's data as fast as we can.
Whoa! Your Majesty,
So-
I think Sora just might have reached the next world.
The Wonderland section of this one, they actually made Wonderland pretty fun. It's like you're going through a maze, but it's like a pseudo-stealth section, if that makes any sense. You have to avoid getting caught by the guys, and there's like clear lines of view, and you gotta make your way through the maze while avoiding it. It's actually a lot of fun.
But we gotta do something about the castle.
I'm as worried as you are, Donald. But right now, our best hope is fixing up the journal.
Okay.
Have you, for those of you who haven't seen this game before, have you figured it out yet? Why there was Heartless in
Whoa,
Disney
look at all
Castle?
these blocks.
Sora, it's Mickey. Do you read me?
I hate
Yeah,
those silver
I can
blocks.
hear you, but where'd the town go? I was just there a second ago.
I wish I knew, Sora, but I can't figure out what's happening. It's all a really big mystery. The only thing I can think of is that maybe when you defeated the enemy at the keyhole, you were sent someplace else. I saw a message that said, undo the hurt to unbar the way. That might mean that mending the hurt in one world is the key to opening up a road to the next world.
I don't know much about what's going on. What I do know is that after I beat the enemy, I ended up right here.
There's a reason for it,
And from the
Dakota.
looks of this place, this world could probably use some help.
I think you're right, Sora. And if this world's like the others, in order to fix it, you'll have to find the keyhole and defeat whatever enemy is hiding inside.
But if I do that, then I'm just gonna get blasted off into the unknown again, won't I? I'm good with that. Yeah, I'll help in any way I can.
Notice how Sora,
I'll go
Data
and
Sora,
track
excuse
down
me,
Whatever it is that you need me to take care
is
of.
actually picking up on things and figuring out stuff for himself.
Who's that?
Please help!
The Heartless. I've got this. Stay back.
Damn, Data Heartless.
Thank goodness.
You okay?
Yes. Thank you. Oh, have we met?
Who, me? I'm Sora. And you?
Well, I'm...
What's wrong?
Oh... I really don't know why, but I can't remember.
Her mind is oh so fuzzy, much like me.
I really hate to say this, but Jim Cummings for the Cheshire Cat was a mistake. He pretty much sounds exactly like the voice he uses for Pooh Bear, and it just... Blah.
What are you saying? That she has amnesia?
Not only her, but everyone here as well. Things have become quite buggy, can't you tell?
So, the bugs have caused everybody to have funny problems with their memory? If that's true, I better find the keyhole quickly and make this world okay.
I think If you're looking for a keyhole, I believe I saw one somewhere.
Huh? Where's that?
I just can't remember.
What could she remember when her memory's dismembered? Perhaps an inkling could help get her thinkling.
Jim Cummings, I love you, but no. Also, one other thing they do really
What's an
nice with
inkling?
all of the worlds is there's just subtle hints of how wrong it is. It's kind of in a deliberate uncanny valley to the terrain. You've seen it a couple times here already, where there's just like a little bit of the grass has the bug texture just kind of faded moving through it. You'll see that throughout the rest of the world. It kind of helps emphasize the nature of the place. And well, I don't want to say too much about that, but it'll be relevant soon.
An inkling is for you to figure out. If you find one, this will be forgotten. Or is it that it will be remembered?
Hey, wait! Don't go! I'll be back in a sec. Could this be an inkling? Alice. I wonder if that's her name.
Nah.
What was my name? Oh, if I could only...
Maybe it's Alice?
Yes, of course!
Because they're a
Of
pain to
course, my
deal with,
name is
Kelson.
Alice.
Hey, that's great! Your memory's back. So that keyhole, do you have any idea where you might have seen it?
Ah. Hello, AJ.
Let me think for a moment. If I recall correctly, it had a sort of glow.
That's right! Do you know where?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm still ever so foggy.
The fog that's bogging could be unclogging with just a smidgen of memory jogging.
Okay, so if I keep on giving her inklings, she'll eventually remember where she saw the keyhole. But where can I find more inklings?
Perhaps one way, or another way, or in between ways. One never knows.
Kelson, you don't have to. It's
Okay,
just
Alice,
there's benefits to doing
I'll be
so.
back with
And
more
of course,
stuff
it
to
looks
help you
nicer if you
remember.
get rid of them.
Just stay right here.
As was pointed out earlier by Darch, I think. Level
That's
2
right.
spells can get rid of them.
Sort it out and end the hurt.
That's Data Riku.
Our world still aches. And your next road still awaits.
Would you tell me what you want?
Nope, sorry. I'm based off of the memories of Riku, so
They're
I'm all
inklings?
broody and
Does that word ring some kind of
non-informative.
bell for you, Jiminy?
In the reports, do you happen to remember what it was that they called Nominee?
A witch who changes memories.
Yes, that's right.
Gorge, is that your second journal, Jiminy?
All the strange occurrences taking place in these worlds are about the first journal.
Hey,
in
Regal.
which
Or Walk,
that
excuse me.
Nominee was
H.A. Walk.
But as far as I can tell, the second journal seems to be just fine.
Well, that's because the second
Are
journal
you
wasn't
thinking
messed
Naminé
with.
may have something to do with it?
Well, I can't be absolutely certain, but I have a feeling that that may be what's going on.
Guess we better wait and see what happens.
In fairness, Riku did get better. It just took him till 358.
Hey, Alice, I'm back.
I hope you're here to help me. Remember what I've forgotten.
Of course.
That's such a weird sentence. It's like she put an unnecessary pause in there. I hope you're here to help me. Remember what I've forgotten.
Let's see. I was in a field of flowers when I saw a rabbit in a waistcoat. He seemed to be in an awful hurry. I chased him into a burrow and fell down a very peculiar hole. That's how I ended up here. And then, when I asked the Cheshire Cat how to get home, he suggested I visit the Queen of Hearts in her castle.
Because apparently he's evil.
That's it! The Queen's castle is where I saw the keyhole.
That's great. You remember everything, don't you?
Yes, and it's all because of you. Thank you. Sora, would you like me to show you the way to the castle?
Yeah, let's go.
The truth lies through the keyhole. And with it, true memories.
And who are you?
Please excuse us, Your Majesty. We just need to look around.
Stop there! All of the ways here are my ways. Only I decide who gets to look around or a square.
Yes, I'm sorry. We're just in quite a hurry.
Not likely. Silence! I demand you stand trial this instant!
Huh?
Please, Your Majesty. We haven't done anything wrong.
A lie if I've ever heard one! More proof that you're the thieves who made off with my memory!
Come on, it wasn't our fault. It was the bugs.
So that's how you did it, is that it? You and an army of insects!
Your Majesty, there's no evidence.
There certainly is. I say you're guilty. That's the verdict. Guards, off with their heads!
Oh no! Sora, we must go.
Alice, do you remember where you saw it? Is the keyhole here?
It's there, inside that birdcage.
Got it. Thanks.
Sora, where are you going?
I have to try and find a way to get to that keyhole. You should escape while you can.
Oh, but
Don't worry, I'll be fine.
if you say so, but don't let the gods catch you.
Yes, yes. Ah!
Don't let him get away! After him!
She is exceptionally punchable. And stupid. She's been affected by the Sora field. I mean, the Kailang field.
That's good. Looks like Sora got another world repaired.
It's happened, just like we thought. Another line showing up in my journal. There are more hurts than the one you have just undone.
Uh-oh.
Gorge! That must mean the door's still locked.
Undo the hurt to unbar the way. I guess there are other worlds in the journal that are still gonna need our help.
I wonder how Sora is doing. Your Majesty, do you think he's opened up a path to another world? Look! It's him!
Got you now. Tell me, are you the one behind these glitches?
This world has been connected. Memory and reality now stand tied. It's time for you to learn the truth.
Hey, hold it!
Sora!
Huh?
Hurry! You've gotta go after him! It's clear he knows something!
Hey, Deutsch.
How are we gonna find out who he is?
What if he forgets a kid?
Don't worry, Sora will catch him. Then we'll know for sure. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Who's there?
Chip and Dale must have come back to rescue us.
Samurai, it was Roxas at the beginning. It's been Riku since then. That was what I was pointing. So hey, it's Sora. Except it's not.
you're here?
It's Data Sora.
That voice. Mickey? Is that you? I was just following that guy and...
Huh? Majesty! There, on the monitor!
Yep.
Huh?
Don't worry, guys. It's not the plot twist you're thinking. What actually happened is earlier, remember that big flash of light that happened right towards the beginning? That was Data Riku actually dragging them and this room into digital projections within the datascape, within the matrix. So they dragged them in. They've been inside the datascape this entire time. Since that light flashed, anyways. Along with one other person who got dragged along for the ride. That's why they couldn't escape from the room, because they weren't actually in Disney Castle. That's why Heartless were in here, because they weren't actually in Disney Castle.
Riku?
Sorry. Not quite. Much like Sora there. I'm just zeros and ones that look like somebody you know.
Hmm?
Memories used to fill Jiminy's journal. But when they were pulled apart and then stitched back together, bugs appeared.
So that's the nature of the bugs, by the way. When Naminé was ripping apart all of Sora's memories, remember they affected the journal. You remember how they actually pointed that out in Chain of Memories, how Jiminy opened the journal and it was all blank? She was ripping apart the memories, and of course those memories don't just affect one person, they affect everyone connected to those memories, which included the journal, and Jiminy himself for that matter. This is why the bugs ended up appearing, because the bugs are indicative of how improperly Sora's memories were put back together, thanks to Diz's impatience. So thanks again, Ansem, for yet another screw up there. It would probably work, Dakota, but there's nowhere to go. The Disney Castle isn't there. They would just be like, and we're nowhere.
It was these bugs that kept the book from being completely restored. Of all the possible vessels to protect the data, I was chosen from the journal's pages. The full set of memories was transferred inside of me to shield them from corruption.
It's not that complicated, guys. I just explained
in
it.
a way, what I really am is Jiminy's journal.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, Data Riku is the journal, as I mentioned earlier.
You're my journal?
I took the liberty of importing all of you to help solve the mystery of this entry.
Do note that the significant point there is the fact that Data Riku, the journal, is unaware of where these entries were coming from. Which world's gameplay did I like best? Oh, that's a tough one. Olympus was really fun, and so was Wonderland, and so was Hollow Bastion, so one of those three. Oh, actually, all of those are wrong. Oblivion. Castle Oblivion was my favorite. Castle Oblivion was amazing.
You really haven't noticed?
Hmm?
All right.
I think...
Escape? We're in the journal? Chip? Dale?
Hey, Zeiss.
Chip? Dale?
We finally got
Meanwhile, back in the real world...
The room was empty when we came back, and we've been searching the data for you ever since.
Well, Sora's here with us, and Chip and Dale are out there looking in,
Then we really are inside the datascape, just like Riku said.
Yes. Why is this such a confusing idea?
Maybe you can tell us.
Of course, this
Is
is...
there any way for us to
Mickey.
get back home?
Hey, Commander Hurst.
Oh, no! Someone's trying to break into the data from the outside!
And her name is Maleficent!
If that's true, then there won't be any way out for you.
You have to escape!
Chip? Dale!
Well, we need to talk about the journal at some point, Dakota. I'm debating a good moment to do so.
No luck. The link from here to the real world has been totally cut.
Oh, how about some good news?
If we repair that link, a new pathway should open.
Yeah?
Of course, that's if these bugs weren't around.
I know. I'm being too harsh on Mickey.
I don't understand it all, but basically this means you guys can't go home, right? Okay, then I'll go bash the bugs for you.
You will?
Once again, I feel like that's a little closer, whoops, to what Sora should be like.
One we owe ya.
Not particularly
Who says we're
smart,
keeping score?
but capable
We're
of putting
all
two and
friends,
two
right?
together and still being, you know, a nice guy throughout it all.
Right. See you.
Sora, how do things look over there?
That voice. Riku? I don't know. There's not much going on here.
Don't be so sure. One of the bugs interfering with the link is definitely in Olympus Coliseum. First, you're gonna have to find the keyhole where it resides. Then, if my findings are right, that'll take you to the world's core. If you can get rid of whatever's harming the core, the bugs will disappear.
No,
It's
Titans.
as easy as that.
So it's just like those other worlds. The enemy is inside the keyhole.
By the way, it'll be really funny later on, because Maleficent is just as ignorant of computers as everyone else is. That's all I'm going to say. It's just interesting, because I always feel like this whole her screwing up things by entering thing is because she's totally ignorant of what she's doing.
All right. I can get rid of them.
Also,
Once
Pete.
that's done, I'll find a way back outside for all of you.
Thanks. Be careful.
There are data nobodies.
Your search for that world's keyhole brought you to the lobby of the Colosseum, where you met Phil. Hercules had gone off to investigate the cause of the bugs and hadn't returned. When you finally found him in the Colosseum labyrinth, Herc told you that Hades was the one responsible for the whole mess in Olympus. Knowing you had to stop the evil Hades, you and Herc headed further into the depths of the maze, ready to face whatever danger may lurk ahead.
The evil Hades. Oh crap, it's Data Cloud! And Data Herc. And Data Sora.
Are you Hercules, the hero?
Who are you?
To you, a problem.
Yeah, so this is the
Now show me that you got a
Final
real good
Fantasy
reason to
world.
fight.
In other words, active
Ready
time
for
battle
this?
system. And top-down, you know, RPG-style combat. I liked this a lot. And once again, bothering to actually put the combat into the game, rather than just implying it. I know, they don't do it every time, but it's still nice that they do it at all. Date escape.
So everything he said about you is true.
Tell me your name.
My name's Cloud. No friend of heroes.
Just ask Zack.
Hey, what did we ever do to you?
Hello, Baronessa.
Seriously? I missed?
Hey, it's Data Hades.
Hades! Stay out of this. I told you this is my fight.
Oh, please. This stopped being about you ages ago.
What's that?
You couldn't even distract Hercules long enough for me to mangle his moussaka.
Something's up with James Woods' portrayal of Hades here. I don't know what it is. Maybe James Woods was going through something. Maybe he lost the voice. Maybe he's just getting older. I don't know, but he sounds weird here.
Help like that, I'll pass.
Are you the one who did this to the Colosseum?
You know, I wish I could take the credit, but this time, you got the wrong guy.
Then who did?
Sorry, Wonder Boy, but this maze has another keeper now. But hey, I'm a fair god, no? I'll stay out of your way. I mean, why work when I can just sit back and watch you all wither away?
Yeah, it actually does sound like he's sick
Get
to
back
me.
here.
So long, Spike. Go find a bucket and kick it.
Honestly, considering how few lines he has, this probably was just a single day of of recording. So it is entirely possible James Woods was just not feeling well that day and was going through it. That's not exactly uncommon. That has happened many times. In some cases, it's been done deliberately. Like, hang on, I want to do this character when I'm sick.
Nice guy.
So he was just using me the whole time.
And again, notice the background there.
Hey, wait a sec.
Bugs.
Gotta go.
Bugs beyond the window.
What's his problem?
I guess he's just another victim of Hades' schemes.
That doesn't explain why his attitude stinks.
Whoa. So if it's not Hades, who could it be? Not sure I even know where to start.
We have to do something about this. Otherwise, we're never gonna get out of here.
Guess we go back to the beginning then. Come on, you can follow me.
We shall go together. Awesome combat.
As you and Herc continued through the labyrinth, you found Cloud, surrounded by Heartless. His heart was so full of despair that at first he chose not to hear what you were saying. But soon, the two of you found a way to reach him, and Cloud decided to help out. Together, the three of you headed further into the maze.
This is Data Cloud, aka the Cloud that is written by Jiminy. So Jiminy apparently thought Cloud was emo and wrote him as emo. I love the wavy, buggy sky there. This was a fun fight, actually. I would argue Cloud is not emo, personally.
Finally. It's about time I found my way home.
I'm really glad to hear that.
Hey there! Think you might be forgetting a few loose ends? Like me?
Feels a heat.
I finally find a trap with all the right trappings. And what do? You go and ruin. You see, here's the thing about deadly mazes. You're supposed to die in them. But I guess this is going to take a more personal approach.
I have a theory. Hey, Herc, I think I know now how you make it as a hero.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, tell us, Sora.
Something like, if you find yourself in trouble, make sure you're the one still standing at the end.
Care to prove that theory?
Feel the heat. Get back!
I'll give you this round, but not the match. What can I say? I'm immortal.
Epic boss fight there.
You gotta tell me, how'd you do that?
Hero, that's the job.
Hero, huh?
The Coliseum should be safe now. Come on, we better go find Phil. He's probably pretty worried.
Yeah. Mickey, did that do it?
Yup. Sora, thank you.
Hey, wait! This time, we didn't get a video.
Right. Those scenes, they originated inside my mind.
Huh?
When you got rid of the bugs, you gave me deeper access to the memories associated with those worlds. The things I saw must have found their way back through the link and shown up on your monitor.
Well, what do you know?
That's another
If
memory
those
connection
memories
thing.
came from deep within the journal itself, then it's really no wonder they're unfamiliar. They don't belong to any of us.
Something's happening.
Holy crap!
No
To make
way.
it clear, that is not Data Pete. That is actually
you?
Pete.
Playing dumb, eh?
And Pete doesn't realize that's Data Sora.
Pete's here? How do you get in?
Same way as yous did. Thought I'd take a little vacay from the outside world. Well, this here world belongs to me, see? So mitts off.
So yeah, that's actually
He
Pete.
must be up to something.
Right.
Also, Pete learns how to maneuver the datascape
Where is he?
surprisingly well.
If Mickey's concerned about him, then that must mean he's up to no good. Why is it so quiet? I thought this place would be busier. It's like a ghost town. What happened here?
I think that's the first time they call out the emptiness of the worlds. And it's in the data world, so it doesn't even count.
Despite the bugs and Heartless, you met a friend, Aladdin. You joined him to find Princess Jasmine.
Yes,
Working
Dakota.
together, you saved her from Jafar. That's when you discovered Jafar's nefarious plan to take over the throne and become ruler of all of Agrabah.
Wait. We need another scene like we had in Kingdom Hearts 2 where he just cackles maniacally for like 3 minutes for us to remind... okay, I'm exaggerating. For like 30 seconds to remind us who Jafar is.
Thanks to that no-good Pete, Jafar managed to get a replica of the magic lamp. Using it to stop time, he kidnapped Jasmine and disappeared. But thankfully, the magic didn't affect you, Sora. Your power protected you from the time-stopping spell. In order to stop Jafar in his evil plan, Aladdin had gotten a hold of the real magic lamp. But his victory didn't last long, and sneaky Iago swooped in and stole it. The chase was on.
Quick, get Iago! For the really irritating boss fight, because it's always irritating every time we fight him.
Where do you think you're going? Nowhere with that lamp.
Let me go. It's not my fault. Jafar made me do it. Blame him. So long. See you later.
Better
kid.
not catch you bothering my friends again, Iago. I don't get it. Why did Aladdin have this old thing anyway? Unless maybe it's the treasure that he found in the Cave of Wonders.
Let me just rub this lamp for no reason whatsoever.
What's happening?
So, you got troubles? Well, you've come to the right... Hey, wait, you're not Al.
Yes, that is not Dan Castellaneta. No, that is not, guy whose name I can't think of. The original actor. It's the guy who does the impersonations of him, and I can't think of his name. Oh, whatever.
My friends call me Sora. Al?
Hey,
As in
Dragoon.
Aladdin? Aladdin! He can't move because Jafar stopped time, so he's kind of stuck.
Robin Williams, thank you.
Who are you?
Name's Genie of the Lamp. How you doing? Just make a wish and all your problems will be solved. Magic at your service all day, 24/7 and 365! That's right, I'm all yours.
Are you for real? I have tons of wishes.
Hold on, kid. Got a few rules. The limit's 3. Can't expect other people to take care of every little thing for you, am I right? Hey, what's with the face, kid?
I wish for you to make the world what it was before.
Easy! Are you ready? Watch this! Check it out! What do you think of your new, totally phantom-free city, Master?
You did it! Thanks. So that means time unfroze for Aladdin and everyone else, right?
Ooh, sorry. Little problem. Only the one who cast it can undo that kind of spell.
Aw, no way!
I'm sorry, kid. It's one of the ironclad rules. No interpretation. I have to do exactly what you say.
No, it's my fault. I should have been a lot more careful when I worded my wish.
No, don't say that. I didn't tell you about all the rules. I just let you start making wishes with no guidance. Okay, that one's a freebie. And wait, there's more. I just happen to have a trace on a certain super creepy bad guy that you've been looking for. What do you say? How about another chance?
How else will I find him? And I do need help. All right, Genie. I know what I want for my next wish.
I don't think Data Genie has the power to do that, Daniel-san.
Your wish is my command, little man. Buckle up. Here we go!
He does it in the movie, too, Michael. So, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Ah.
That genie sure is funny.
I can't wait to see Jasmine and Aladdin.
But where do you think Pete decided to go to?
Hezekiah.
And how did he get in there? Pete shouldn't even exist in the datascape, from everything I can tell.
He must have found a way to infiltrate the world. I just don't know how.
Infiltrate.
We know he didn't have access to this device, so that must prove there's another way for somebody to get inside the datascape.
But Jiminy, the only journals are right here.
Wait, we just need to let Sora figure this out.
Yes, Sora
Yes.
will think his way through this
But I'm still gonna
situation.
worry about Pete.
Excuse me, Data,
Gotta
Sora.
come up with a plan in case something happens.
I have just what we need. I know what the plan is.
I'm not going to tell you, though, because I am Jiminy's version of Riku.
With help from the genie, you avoided Jafar's traps and headed into the Cave of Wonders, where Jasmine slept under a spell. You cornered the Vizier in the lamp chamber. But he had the upper hand. He still possessed the replica of the magic lamp. Making his final wish, Jafar transformed himself into a genie.
Proving that Jafar
Then,
will always
using
be
his new powers,
stupid.
He disappeared inside the keyhole.
And yes, we have to fight this jackass in this method for, I think this is the third time now? Ugh.
Oh, I see you are no ordinary street rat. Not if you could elude my ingenious traps. Impressive. But your persistence, it has won you nothing. Do you not see I am invincible? Nothing you can do can defeat me.
I don't stand a chance. What do I do?
Genie to Sora! Sora, do you read me?
Genie!
He's not kidding about the invincible part. None of your attacks can hurt him. But Jafar's a genie now. Like it or not, every genie has a cage.
The lamp! Roger
The
that,
data
Genie.
lamp.
Over and out.
The other data lamp. The replicated data... The replicant data lamp of the original data lamp, which itself is a data version of the original lamp.
Not you again!
It's time you bow to me.
I can't take much more of this! Okay, okay, I give up. Promise, pinky swear.
Why,
I'll never
Jaywalk?
do it again. I gotta find a new line of work.
Give me the lamp, child. It belongs to me.
Hurry, Sora! Use the lamp! You can trap Jafar inside it!
Hear that, Jafar? It's time for you to go home. Is that it? Is it over? Oh.
This
Pete.
just ain't fair. Jafar was supposed to help me cast this whole world into darkness.
Pete! I found you!
And he's gone.
Hey, where are you going?
Whoa! Sora, you leaving already?
Yeah, it's time for me to go. I wish you to help Jasmine home and give the lamp back to Aladdin.
Consider it done! That's wish number 2! And what's on the menu for numero 3?
I want my last wish to go to Aladdin.
Huh?
If he hadn't found the magic lamp, we never would have met and become such good friends. On top of that, I know here, he'll use it for you, for something good that's sure to make you happy.
Sora, You're the best! Talk about a friend! I'll tell Al that's how you feel. Catch you later, Sora!
Goodbye, Genie. Thanks for your help with everything. You're the
Okay.
best, too.
I kind of like their interactions in this one. Data recovery, 30%. So the original coded was garbage. Recoded was much better. If you're going to play it, play Recoded. Oh, this is a great scene right
There
here.
you are, Pete. You're not getting away this time.
That is where you're wrong, you little pipsqueak.
Huh?
I think it's time to show you who's the real boss. Come on out, Maleficent!
This is the real Maleficent.
Must you always be so exasperating, my dear child? Do you require a reminder of my past?
She also doesn't realize anything about any of this.
Isn't that odd?
And of course she can destroy it because it's not a real Keyblade. As we already established.
So we see 'twas but a lie. And now that it's gone, this entire world shall be mine to rule. Yes, my loyal minions. Drag all that you see into deepest darkness!
It's actually a little debatable if these are Data Heartless or real Heartless. But the implication is that these are real Heartless.
You okay?
Huh? Riku! Mickey!
Maleficent! What are you doing here in the Datascape?
Datascape? Spare me your dull
Date
details.
Escape.
But since you're wondering, it was all my idea, you bozo.
I know, right, Django?
We caught wind right away you was up to something. see?
I love his sneaking animation.
So I decided to pay you a little visit on Maleficent's orders. And what do I find?
What's that bright light?
The digital world is no different than another world functionally, when you really get down to it. It's just another type of world.
That's how yours truly got sucked into the light show.
So yeah, that's how Pete got in.
I woke up all by my lonesome in the weirdest place.
Oh, excuse me. Hey, Rigel.
Oh.
Anyways, to summarize really quick, you know, because of the fact that digital things can leave into the real world, and real people can go into the digital world, the same is true for anything else, like Heartless. And remember, Heartless can bypass basically any barrier, because they can go through the corridors of darkness, which connect to everywhere, including virtual worlds, like Tron, for example. We've already seen this. So it's not actually hard for the Heartless to get in here, they just have to be summoned or drawn in, basically.
Maleficent! You seeing this? Better get here right away!
You'll take no such time with me. What is this place?
I ain't no expert, but I think it's hooking a bunch of places together. Could come in handy for taking over them worlds, huh?
It does seem. For once, you may have done something right.
By accidentally being pulled into the Matrix.
There you have it. Me and Maleficent been digging around in here ever since. Lucky for us, this world connects right to that there shiny castle of yours, Mickey. Oh, right. I mean, it used to. But that was before I took control of the only way out, making sure you guys are stuck here forever.
Theoretically, yes,
It
Dakota.
was you. You're the one who cut the link.
Of what consequence is that now? Both worlds shall be mine quite soon. Then, when I have immersed this world in darkness, I shall send my heartless horde back into your little castle under my command.
That'll never happen.
The long slumber ends, and very, very soon, all the worlds will belong to me. Just one thing. My worlds must be free of light, and yours are far too bright. It is time for all of you to fall under my spell into a deep sleep.
You're wrong. This is one world you won't touch.
Well, yeah, Thanatos, because it's the writings of Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1, so... Yeah, no, Maleficent's arrogance levels are through the roof. She's right up there with Tarkin, for God's sakes. I don't know if that's true, Django. Okay, so, to clarify this, because some people apparently still aren't getting this. Imagine the Matrix. Easy to do, right? We've all seen those movies. So imagine the Matrix, except anything from the Matrix can leave the Matrix, and anything from the real world can go into the Matrix. In other words, while it is digital, in every way that matters, it's just another world. It's just another dimension, basically. Anything from there can leave, anything out can go in. You with me? This is why I kept bringing up that point over and over and over throughout the course of, every time it came up, throughout the course of the series so far, because it has been referenced several times, and especially in Kingdom Hearts 2, where it came up like 12 times throughout the course of the game. No, see, that's still not quite right, Thanatos. Imagine if Smith would leave, but he doesn't need a host body to leave. He can just leave. All 50,000 Smiths can just leave the Matrix and go destroy everything, and still retain all their power, and still retain all their abilities. You remember how Neo... One of the things I actually liked about Matrix 3, probably one of my favorite scenes in Matrix 3, was when Neo and Smith were fighting in the real world. And it was brute and coarse, and just... It was very realistic. There was no flashy, awesome karate or martial arts or anything like that. They were just brawlers, bruising each other throughout the fight. Imagine if instead, when they came out, they would retain all of that power, all of those abilities, etc. So, yeah. How many digital worlds are there? Well, that's funny you ask that, OJ, because there's a theory about that which I'm still saving, which has to do with Kingdom Hearts Kai. But before we get to that, as of right now, there's really only the 3. The Tron one, Space Paranoids, the Artificial Twilight Town, and this one right here, Jiminy's Journal. That's it. Unless there's the other one, but we'll get to that, because we want to talk about that soon.
Don't you know he belongs to the darkness? That means he is destined to be consumed by it like the rest of us. This boy is under my control now. I have great hope that he will prove to be more than useful.
Looks like it's game over. And you suckers are just a bunch of losers.
I still love how Pete has a greater understanding of the digital world than Maleficent does. Something about that just amuses me.
Riku! He's gone.
Why, this is terrible. They can't just go and take Riku away.
And another thing. Doesn't Riku have all the journal data inside of him?
That's true. The dead escape is going to be destined to die.
No, Donald, it's date escape.
Hey, Jiminy, how many of the worlds still have bugs left in them?
Well, it
She
looks
should,
like it's
Dakota.
only one.
Hollow
That
Bastion.
sure is a shame. We were so close to being done.
Getting all the bugs would have meant finding a way back home for all of you. Guys, I'm sorry. I really blew it this time.
It's not your fault, Sora. Don't worry. I'll take care of everything. I promise.
Your Majesty, that's dangerous.
I know I can find another way to get rid of the bugs. And rescue Riku, too.
Sounds good. Count me in.
Yeah, you don't have a Keyblade. So to make this clear, she didn't just delete, like, that Keyblade. It would be more accurate to say that she deleted the concept of a digital Keyblade. That's why they can't just resummon one. And of course, they don't have access to the outside world. the people who have the controls, so they can't make a new one, and the person who has control of the system, the OS, if you will, which is Data Riku, has just been kidnapped. So they have no method of producing a new Data Keyblade for him.
That's weird.
That's important.
My Keyblade isn't working.
Sora, I'm sorry. But your Keyblade was completely destroyed by Maleficent.
No way! But how?
Thing is, about that Keyblade, it was just an object that we programmed into the datascape from the outside world.
Huh?
There's nothing we can do in here. But once we're all back at the real castle, we might be able to rewrite the data and make a new one.
True, Thanatos.
Except, one problem. Maleficent is blocking the path out of here. Until we can find a way back, you'll just have to do without one.
But what will I...
Don't you worry. Now it's time for me to show you what I can do. You guys, hold down the fort.
I also love this section. It's a nice parallel to what happened in Kingdom Hearts 1, and it's a nice section. You play for a little bit without your Keyblade after this.
Of course he is. After all, King Mickey's brave and strong.
Yeah, I know. But he's going up against more than just a homeless.
He's gonna have to deal with whatever Maleficent and Pete are up to.
And with the bugs, maybe we should be getting worried, huh?
Well, the king said to stay here.
But we've disobeyed him like 20 times already, so...
Sora?
Strange. He was here a moment ago.
Oh, you don't think...
Nah. I know, right, Leander? Which is funny, because that is very Maleficent.
But I'm still gonna help. I know I can save Riku. Pete!
What? Where'd that voice come from? Huh? Oh, wait, I know you. You're that annoying pipsqueak. Just what in the blazes are you doing here?
That's a good question, Celestial.
Where are you keeping Riku?
I'm gonna say yes, though.
Well, if you want to find your pally, you're gonna have to catch me first. So long!
Hey! Come back here!
You got this, Sora. Secretly, you don't got this, Sora.
Show yourself! Pete! Oh no! I'm trapped!
Now remember, you can't actually hurt those blocks without the Data Keyblade, or a Keyblade in general.
Coming in here when there ain't nothing you can do.
I can wipe that smug look off your face!
Ha! You can't touch me! Come on out, Heartless! Now you guys all play nice whilst I finish setting up our little puppet show. Have fun with your new best friends.
Wait!
So yeah, enemies you can't defeat, and blocks you can't stop. Datasaur's kind of screwed.
If only I had my Keyblade. No. I can do this on my own.
Here I come, Sora! Heartless, be gone!
Goofy!
Yay.
Gorsh, Sora! How come you came to this place? The king wanted us all to stay together back in the library. You shouldn't have run off on your own like that.
Yeah. I understand. Sorry.
Good. That means we can go.
Okay.
It's this way, silly.
Huh? We're not going back?
I thought we were
But that's
chasing
not
after
Sora
Pete.
case now.
Come on. We gotta hurry and catch up.
Chase after Pete? You sure?
Of course. It's like you always tell us. When you're friends, you do whatever you can to help each other.
Goofy. Thank you.
By the way, have you seen Donald anywhere?
It is a separate person
You
case
mean
now.
he came with you?
We
That's
were
actually a
looking
plot
for
point.
you together. We must have got split up somewhere.
I hope he's okay. Come on,
But
let's go
fine.
look for him first.
Just to satisfy my slavish viewers, we'll add one to the Sora is dumb counter.
Donald!
So that's where you went.
Sora, Goofy. Hey, what's the big idea? This is no time to go missing.
You mean us?
But I thought you were the one who went missing, Donald.
The details don't matter. I was really sick about you two.
Donald, sorry. It's because my Keyblade got destroyed that we all ended up here in this place.
This one qualifies as
I
like
dragged
our
you
second
into a
no
real
music
mess.
so far. Lorerunner.com, Rigel.
What are you talking about? You don't need to apologize to us.
Huh?
Actually, we kinda like getting dragged into your messes.
You like it? But why?
Because it's no fun watching from the other side of the screen. We wanted to go on an adventure with you at all times.
You don't need a Keyblade, Sora, when you have us with you.
Thanks, Donald. You too, Goofy.
It is important to note that this is real Goofy and real Donald. That's relevant for something that's coming up. In other words, to put it bluntly, people who already have hearts.
Hey, guys. I just want to say thank you.
Why are you saying that now, Sora?
When I'm with the two of you, I feel like I can do anything.
I was actually wondering that
Kinda
myself,
like we've done this
Thanatos.
before. There's no memory of it, but it still feels like it happened.
Then that means the three of us are true friends, just like I always
At least until we erase your memory.
Fun to make the same friend twice, and a little exciting.
But now it's time for us to get back to business.
Yeah, we still have to catch Pete, and then figure out a way to rescue Riku.
Okay, let's go.
Nice touch there. Actually showing it just like it happened in Hollow Bastion. There's a lot of little polished moments in this.
We got you, Pete. Stop.
Oh, hey, whoa. Couldn't get nothing done by yourself, so you went crying to your doofus pals. Well, too bad. Ain't gonna do you liquor good, see?
Heartless!
Whoosh. That looks so passive. Shove.
And that's not all.
Look out!
This is kind of an unnecessary scene, if I'm being honest.
We're a sandwich.
Donald! Goofy! What do I do now?
Why the blazes would you chumps risk your necks for a lump of data? Why, he's a phony. You guys made him, and that Keyblade of his, he's not even real.
Droid effect.
Why don't you be quiet? Show us our friend, no matter what.
Donald.
Huh, some friend. He ain't nothing more than an empty shell. The kid doesn't even have a heart.
That's not true. We've all got Sora's heart right here inside us.
Way weaker,
What
Summer
a
Haze.
load of bunk.
You'll see it if you pay attention. Why would Sora keep fighting for us, no matter how hard things got for him, if he didn't care about us?
And me and Donald, we're always gonna fight for him too. That's because he's in our hearts as much as we're inside of his. Something else, and I can say this for sure. Sora is our friend, and that makes him our power. Let's say it together. My friends are my power.
I like this part right here.
enough with the mush already. You bugs are done, see? And I'm at all that power. Can't protect you now.
Gosh.
Donald! Goofy! Please, just stop!
Time to say good night.
Let him go! Huh?
Remember, a Keyblade is your heart manifested.
The Keyblade?
How'd you get that? Seriously, Maleficent crushed that thing like it was a bug.
Sora, it looks to me like something inside of you has been changed somehow.
Huh? Mickey, but what did I do? What was inside of me that changed?
I can't say what it is for sure.
That's because you're stupid,
But I
Mickey.
think a new part of you has been awakened. The Keyblade's power comes from the wielder's strength of heart. Once, an old friend said to me, a heart is so much more than any system. The Keyblade we gave you before was one we created. It was nothing but data. To tell you the truth, I never expected it to have the same kind of power as the real Keyblade. That weapon was just a replica. It didn't have any substance. That's why Maleficent could destroy it so easily. But during your journey, you really made a connection with all of us. You've become more than the system, Sora. The power you found inside of you isn't like anybody else's. And when you access that power, that's what brought your Keyblade back. Well, and that's what I believe anyway.
He's speaking in somewhat generalized terms because Mickey doesn't understand, programming and software and AI. But the idea here is that Sora, Data Sora, has become sufficiently advanced, has connected to the other actual hearts around him, and has grown in experience to the point where he has grown a heart. Just like any nobody will, just like all the other beings of this setting do. And again, it's all about that level of complexity, and it's all about the experiences they go through. It is possible that they also need connections to other hearts, but notice Data Sora has all of that, so one way or another, he does generate a real heart as a result of this, and is now, for all intents and purposes, a sentient and sapient being. So yeah, that's a real Keyblade he's wielding right there. As an aside, I just want you to keep that in mind for something that's going to happen in a little bit, because it gets really, really horrifying when you think about it. I'm still debating when I want to talk about Jiminy's journal. I think we'll save that for now, because I want to talk about that right around when I start talking about Kai. So, no, Takoida. See, the thing is, this is kind of a messed up situation. Only people who are trained in or have a Keyblade capacity passed down to them can actually wield a Keyblade. There has to be something that connects them to the original Keyblade in order to give them that capacity. And every single Keyblade wielder can be traced back up all the way down the same lines to the original wielders all the way back before the war, right? And following the destruction that the war caused. Data Sora has that connection because he's based on Sora. It's actually kind of silly, but yeah, the only reason he can wield the Keyblade is because of his connection to the Sora. It's basically the same reason why Xion could wield a Keyblade, even though it wasn't actually passed down to her through actual ceremony. Because of her nature as being basically built out of Sora's memories, she had that capacity too.
Only you had the power to do it.
A power that's just mine.
I've been debating the Axel thing
I
for a
think
while,
that's
Thanatos. Some of my viewers think that Axel got his ability to wield a Keyblade from Yensid, and that I could see that, because it could be passed down from Yensid to him. I wish they'd shown that on camera, but the fact that he's actively been trying to wield a Keyblade means that at least someone was doing that, so it was most likely either Mickey or Yensid.
I've been searching all over, trying to find a way to fix the leftover bugs. But everything looks like it's okay.
I like this song, by the way.
Conjuring up a new Keyblade just ain't fair.
Correct, Thanatos.
Maybe it's time for me to make a strategical retreat.
No way! Not so fast! Give us Riku. Right now.
I've about had it with the lot of you. Now get out of my way.
Huh? What now?
%60 recovered.
Sayonari. See you later. Go.
Due to the nature of what Kingdom Hearts Kai is gameplay-wise, no, I literally would not do a Lorerun of that, even if I had the ability to play it right now.
I need to do
Which I
this
don't.
on my own. Up till now, all of you helped me. That's the reason I made it this far. But guys, it's my turn now. I have the Keyblade again. I'm gonna help you find a way back.
Or do you just want to try your new power, Sora?
Huh? Well, maybe just a little.
That could be
It's
Darsh
not
Monster.
like we can stop you, right, Sora?
Just remember, you're never alone. When you get hurt, it hurts us too. Sora, you're always a part of our team.
Got it.
Well, see, one thing to mention, remember how Kairi gains it from Aqua unintentionally. Aqua never does the ceremony to Kairi, but there is a connection between Aqua and Kairi. Ignoring the fact that she actually put the protective ability on her or whatever, there's that moment where Kairi was like, hey, you know. And so there was a connection there. It was faint, but there was a connection. It's entirely reasonable to say that Axel's connection to Roxas, Xion, and Sora is sufficient and sufficiently strong for him to manifest a Keyblade that way, because that's a pretty powerful connection.
I'll come back safe and sound. I promise you that. Pete, it's the end of the road.
Damn it, Aqua.
Don't you know when to quit?
No, and you're coming with me.
Ah, I'm done with you ruining all my plans. Get ready, because I got a brand new plan for you.
It's called punching you in the face. By the way, based on what we see with Data Sora, do you think Data Riku develops a heart? Because we don't know absolutely for certain.
Not this again.
You give up yet?
So, this upcoming boss was the hardest boss in the game for me, personally.
Come on out and say hello.
Riku!
Sora, stay back!
Riku! What happened?
Glad you asked. I went and took the liberty of taking away his liberty. Data stuff like this sure is useful. All I had to do was load some of those bug thingies into your pally's datatronics.
No, not his datatronics.
See what this minion can do. I order you to attack.
I will never answer to you.
No?
You're right, I was actually calling him Axel instead of Lee, which is really funny if you've played Dream Drop Distance. I meant Lee the whole time, because Lee is the one who actually manifests the Keyblade. And of course, Lee has connections with Sora, Roxas, Xion, and Ventus. So again, 4 connections there.
Okay then. What if I add a little more juice?
This is kind of messed up, really.
Stop!
Well, that ought to keep you for a while. So long. I'll just leave you two to get reacquainted.
Seriously though, screw this
Riku,
boss fight.
Talk to me.
I heard a scream. Sora, tell me what's going on.
Mickey, it's Riku. They put bugs in him.
What? Riku! Can you hear my voice? Riku!
Error. Voice not found.
Riku! Please. Can't you hear what we're saying to you?
Destroy me. What?
Reformat my programming. You need to hack all the IPs simultaneously, Sora. I love how that represents what, for me, was the hardest boss fight in the entire freaking game. Just, and he's down. I like how the bugs are literally just in him there.
Huh?
Now, this section, I'll admit, got a little repetitive. This pseudo finale. This is actually a fake finale, because there's something after this section. The Castle Oblivion thing is actually the finale, and is awesome. But yeah.
Is he? Do you think?
Well, if the bugs have taken over Riku, then that means he might not ever wake up unless we get rid of the bugs first.
Riku. So if I debug him, Riku will come back to us.
Huh?
Yes, Dakota.
Guys, I gotta go inside to look.
What about you?
Who's to say if it's even safe inside Riku?
I know it's risky, but if a friend needs me to be there, I'll be there to help.
Yay!
Well, I guess that's Sora for you.
Still can't talk you out of it, huh?
But we'll do everything we can to help you out.
Thanks, guys.
Sora, don't forget, you're not going in there alone. Your friends will be right there fighting alongside you in spirit, no matter where you go.
So of course we go a level deeper and actually enter the operating system instead of just being in the datascape. I don't know what else to call it.
Is this really the inside of Riku's datascape? Riku, are you okay?
You shouldn't be here, Sora.
You shouldn't be inside me, Sora. I'm sorry, I had to do one.
Fight the bugs
I had to do at
off a
least
little
one.
Longer. But they're spreading, and in just a bit of time, they'll take over all my data. And they won't stop there. They're going to dominate the entirety of the datascape.
I could see that,
That
Django.
includes you too. You won't be able to last long. Here, take this, and escape while you can.
What is it?
It's data that isn't supposed to be inside Jiminy's journal. Someone added it after the fact.
So this someone, was this the same person who filled you with the journal's data?
Yes.
I don't know for sure. It's up to you now to find out. You've got to figure out who it is. Because of you, all the bugs outside are gone. If you can just solve the mystery of this extra data, then the journal will be completely restored. It'll also give the others a way back home.
But wait, what will happen to you?
I'll dive into the darkness and take the bugs with me so they're destroyed.
Damn it, Data Riku.
They'll never see the light again. This will all be over.
That'll also basically destroy the
Go.
journal, for all intents and purposes.
Well, I can still control this. I won't be able to hold them off much longer. Hurry, Sora. If you leave now, you can make it out.
No, Leander. We're still not at the Kai
I don't
discussion.
want to hurt you. You have to go.
Riku, I get it. There's still just enough time.
Right.
Great. Since there's escape time, that means there's enough time to stop the bugs and help you, right?
That is surprisingly intelligent of
mean
him to
that.
pick up on that.
Come on, this is me here. You didn't really think I'd just give up and leave you like this.
Sora, I remember now. Once you get an idea in your head...
That's right. Now tell me how to save you.
So like I said, this gameplay section was a little repetitive.
See
Basically,
that
we're going to
door?
be zooming back and
It should
forth.
lead deeper into my data. Inside, you'll find a vast world created from my memories.
Between the worlds we've already done.
Once you've gotten rid of the bugs in one world, another world should open before you. Bugs are everywhere, Sora. Be careful.
Okay. Be right back.
So yeah, we go back through Destiny Islands, and we will save Riku, Data Riku. Okay, we did it. Wait, no, not yet. Hang on. Got a strike raid first. Control S.
Thanks to you, I can access this world, now that you've weakened the bugs here.
Teleport.
It's been a while.
It has. Hey, do you remember when you left me that keyhole here before?
Yeah. You needed a chance to prove yourself with the Keyblade.
Yes, Fuke.
You also needed to learn how everything works in the datascape.
I didn't know I'd have to face such a big monster. Did you know what was inside?
Sorry about that. I didn't have time to show you the ropes. Inside the journal, the Heartless had already shattered the walls between worlds. And soon, more and more things were breaking down. The bugs were attacking the wall between the datascape and the real world. I had to weigh all the options. I decided to use the damage to my advantage, and call Mickey and the others here to help.
Yeah, this qualifies as no music.
I know I put everyone
Barely.
in danger, but I had no choice.
Mickey said there was a mysterious message added to the journal, right? After all this, we haven't figured it out.
I think dragging everybody into this was wrong.
As long as our friends get back safely, it'll be fine.
Also, you're totally freaking wrong, because if you hadn't done that, things would have gotten much, much worse. I mean, really, did you not hear what you were just saying? Digital Heartless trying to escape out into the real world? Come on, dude. And what's the difference between a Digital Heartless and an Emblem Heartless? Functionally, there is no difference. Not really. Just a difference of source. So yes, I will be discussing what Kingdom Heart Kai is,
Hey there.
in brief.
Looks like you've taken care of the bugs here too.
Riku!
Sora, I owe you. Last time I was here, it was to keep some kids safe from danger.
Do you mean Huey, Dewey, and Louie?
Yeah, they were targets, because they had pieces of the keyhole. I knew somebody had to look out for them.
Good question,
so I decided
Michael.
to do it.
But Riku, why didn't you let me know what was going on when we met?
I'm sorry. You still needed to toughen up a little bit more on your own. You had a rough job, and if you couldn't do it, then... well, I guess my only option would have been to handle it on my own.
Riku. You know what? You gotta stop doing everything by yourself. I like getting dragged into your messes. Donald and Goofy said that. Friends want to help you out whenever they can.
Sora,
Forget that on my own talk.
I'm sorry. You're right.
And stop with all the apologizing.
What are you,
Come on,
Canadian?
we've got things to do.
A? Sorry. But yeah, like I said, this is the fake finale. The way the game's structured, you're supposed to think this is the end of the game, but it isn't. There's something wonderfully, horrifyingly messed up after this. Probably one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in the entire series. And I mean that sincerely. It's messed up. If you guys actually think I'm insulting Canadians, you know nothing about me. First of all, why would I give a damn where you're from? Second of all, I know a lot of really awesome Canadian people. So screw you.
Sora, I'm sorry.
Come on, stop saying that.
Can you blame me? I should never have let the bugs in like this. Every time, it's me against an outside force. I always seem to give in.
Hey, Riku. Question.
No, Michael.
How many worlds have we been to now?
Not that I'm aware of.
Huh?
'Cause not too long ago, the answer to that question would have been only one. But now we've been to all kinds of places, on tons of adventures. And instead of just sitting around and dreaming about what's out there, we only have to remember it. It's that easy. We've got the whole universe inside. There are worlds inside us. Try and let that sink in. I don't know much, but that's amazing.
Also, yeah, the
Incredible.
colors being washed out is a nice
But
visual
you know,
touch.
No matter the world, no matter how far, you're always the same. You're right. There may still be outside forces trying to pull you in, but I know you're not gonna lose.
I thought about playing Recoded.
Everything you touch
'cause it's
makes
fun,
you stronger.
but
It always has.
deadlines.
Sora.
Sounded good, right? You're not the only one who's grown through all this.
Huh. Yeah, well, you're still kind of a half pint.
Oh, right, sorry.
Hey, don't
Like
think
each
I'm
of
not gonna
these.
remember that when I'm taller than you.
Yeah, that's... We
I
know
look forward
how
to the
tall
day
you two are
that
going to be in the next game,
happens.
guys. Riku's a lot taller.
Hey, Sora.
Yeah?
Never mind. I'll tell you when it's all over.
There's this girl named Xion.
Okay.
Don't forget she exists,
I'll see
okay?
you on the other side.
It's very important. She needs to have a happy ending. God damn it, she needs to have a happy ending. I know music bit. I wish I could play Dream Drop Distance, but I can't. So, the last game I will be playing is Birth by Sleep.
Remember this? It was right around here that I came to save you.
Yeah. This is where Maleficent ambushed me. I thought I was a goner.
This is kind of relevant, unlike all the other cutscenes they're talking about, because most of the other cutscenes they're talking about are based on their patterned memories that they were built out of. However, what they're talking about here is something of their actual memory, something that they experienced, not their original selves experienced, which helps define the difference between before and after generating a heart, basically.
I'd gotten a bad feeling. And Mickey knew something was up.
I'm glad you came when you did. That's when I lost the power of the Keyblade. You see? Things will work out.
How's that?
No matter what you lose, you can always get it back. And that means you can definitely get yourself back.
I kind of envy you. You've got a simple world.
Is that a good thing?
I envy whatever makes you think it could be.
Gee, thanks a lot.
I also like there's a genuine dynamic between Data
Let's
Sora
head
and
back.
Data Riku,
Hey,
which is funny.
wait up.
Because it's not often we see Riku and Sora having that kind of dynamic.
Enough hurt's been undone for you to access the innermost reaches of my data. But remember, in there lies the source of all sources. We don't know the bug's true form or origin, or why it's even here.
So if we take it out, we'll solve the last of the Datascape's problems.
Yes, everything should be like it was before.
Thanks for everything. I feel like, after going through all your memories, now, the journey's made me that much stronger.
You don't have to thank me.
Sure I do. There's no way I would have made it this far without your help, Riku.
Source engine.
Plus, you were even there when I woke up. Remember when I first got my hands on the Keyblade? You were there from the start.
What do you mean? The first time I saw you was on our island.
Yep, because that
What?
was Data Roxas.
I was sure I saw you there in your black coat. Huh. That's strange.
Keep focus. Are you ready for this fight? I'm afraid I have to stay out here, but I will leave you with this. No matter what's in there now, don't hold back.
Oh, 2.8 isn't there's no way it's coming out in January. Holy crap. I'd think it's more likely to come out in November. Next November. Quick thought about flow motion. You know what I like best about flow motion? The fact that it's optional. If you don't like it, or if you're not good at it, or you're too twitchy for it, or whatever, you don't have to do flow motion. It completely trivializes the combat, because flow motion is incredibly awesomely powerful, in addition to looking cool. But it is optional, and I like that.
Riku, how did... Wait, no. You're not him. You can't be Riku. The bugs must have absorbed his power and taken this form. Now I see why he felt he had to warn me about you. Here goes.
So... I have to admit, I liked the first plot twist of this one, which we're not at yet, but we're very close to. Basically, one of the things they've been wondering this whole time is what has been causing all the bugs to spread. Why they've been seeded throughout all the worlds. Because they haven't just been spreading on their own. Oh god, second Ansem.
That
I have
should
not yet
all
said
the bugs
starting.
inside him. It's time to head home.
90% recovered. Conditions for awakening met.
Nicely done.
Riku, thanks.
Did that bug try to use my power for itself?
Yep. But how'd you know that?
Just a feeling. I thought it might try to exploit the darkness that's been lurking inside of me.
He means handheld, Deutsch.
I've been envious of what you have. Always surrounded by friends who trust you completely.
Stop right there. First off, I trust you. Second, my friends are your friends too. Ask.
Of course we're your friends, Riku. Hey, Sora, are you guys okay in there?
Pick out some bugs for me, what's that?
Yeah, and just give a holler if you need help. We'll be here.
My friends. Guess you're right.
Let's go, Riku. Everybody's waiting for us.
So we still haven't fought the last boss.
What? What's that?
No way. Hurry, Sora. You've got to escape. Someone's trying to close the road back to the outside world. Go now, or you'll be trapped inside here.
Oh, okay.
That should get you out of here. Sora, thanks again. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah. I'll hold you to that.
Well, it probably doesn't help that we have had Kingdom Hearts mobile games. Coded was a mobile game, and Kai is a mobile game.
Gorge, you made it back.
Yay! You're here.
It's also really,
Welcome
really
back,
boring
Sora.
from what I've seen of the gameplay.
Good. You look like you're okay.
Mickey, it's good to be here. You guys, listen, you'd never believe the stuff I saw.
Actually, we saw it all. You got rid of the last of the bugs from the datascape. We really owe ya.
Yep. Happy I could help. Oh, hey, Riku. Is Riku all right?
I'm just fine. Sorry to put you through all that.
Riku.
Looks like we managed to keep that promise.
Yeah.
I wish we had some time to sit around and catch up, but these guys need to hurry. Go there. As promised. That's your road home to the real world where everyone's waiting for you.
So this is it. Time for us to leave. And time to say bye to the Datascape.
It's not every day that I get to explore my journal's world. Now that the moment's here, I'm kinda sad we have to go.
You can always come back another time.
Great idea. And next time, we can bring everybody.
There's this guy named Sora we want to bring here, and...
Actually, there's something important I haven't told you yet. It's just... no. It can wait until you've made it through.
Thank you, Riku. Goodbye.
That's because
You two
that's
take care,
basically
okay?
a corridor of darkness for all intents and
Yep.
purposes, Dakota.
See ya.
It's a way to travel between worlds, from the Datascape to Disney Castle. So yeah, it is a unique design. And they're back in real Disney Castle.
Did we?
Yahoo! We have been waiting for you.
You're here! Welcome home!
here, so I think that means...
We're really here.
It's true. We're finally home. Our castle in the real world.
What is wrong with Jiminy's voice?
We did it.
Can you guys hear me?
Huh?
Glad to see you made it back safely.
Loud and clear, Riku. We're here because of you. Thank you.
For the significance of this scene to have impact, I want to remind you again that Data Sora has generated a heart. In other words, he has become his own being. He is sentient, sapient, and otherwise self-aware. It is very likely that Data Riku, the OS running the journal, has also generated a heart and is also sentient, sapient, and self-aware.
Well, guess Sora and I are done for now. It's all over now that we figured out how to get rid of the bugs. The journal will go back to the way it was. Is that right, Jiminy?
Yes, it should return to how it was, when I first wrote everything down. Without all those pesky bugs, the journal entry should appear back in their original state.
Right. The entries will reappear as they were before. And all of the rest has to be reset. That means the whole adventure we all shared. It'll be swept from our memories like it never happened.
Does that mean you're gonna forget about the time we were together? Even all the stuff that we're talking about right now?
We're nothing but data. That's just the way it goes.
Not fair.
Mickey, still there?
What?
Hmm?
Sora?
Riku explained things. I know it's not what we all would want. But guys, if that's the way everything's meant to be, then...
That makes me sad.
You went through so much. You really helped us in the Datascape. Taking all that away is such a...
Thank you. But actually, I'm okay with it. Besides, you won't be able to get rid of us that easily. Me and Riku, we aren't going anywhere. We might lose some memories, but that doesn't matter when we've still got you guys. Our adventure may not be found in the journal, but you'll always find us in your hearts.
Thankfully, everyone else will remember these events, Dakota, because it's a different memory. It's a different type of memory alteration than what Naminé was doing.
No matter what happens, we'll be right here. As long as you remember us and everything that we've been through together, well then, who knows?
It'll get creepy, though.
Sora?
Trust me.
Well,
give the us out there our best, okay?
Also, I've always felt that's a good way to distinguish Data Sora from Sora. I could never picture Sora going along with this. Not like that. But Data Sora has this weird sense of acceptance and understanding about it. I just mentioned that, not that he's better or worse, just that he's different. It's one last boss to fight, though. Data recovery, 100%. Delete datascape? Yes, no. Yes.
What is this power? It's so much stronger than anything I've ever felt before. Could it
I
be
love
some
this
sort of
boss
bug?
because it makes perfect sense.
How did that happen? I thought we got rid of all of them.
I thought we did too. There's a chance we were wrong.
What can we do now?
Similar, Fatsquake, yes.
That message said it was going to delete the datascape. We can't let something that powerful get loose. The journal data has to be locked.
But then we're gonna lose you and Sora, and what was in the journal. We'll lose it all.
That's not the only problem. Both Maleficent and Pete are still inside the datascape too. We can't let them be deleted, can we?
Even if I've never been their biggest fan, they're not made of data. We have gotta find a way to save them.
I don't like that line. I mean, I get what he's saying, but it sounds just a little bit bigoted. We've got to save them because they're not made of data.
Then locking the data isn't an option? Both worlds are at stake. What do we do?
Oh no. You guys, hang tight. I'll take care of this.
Sora, where are you going?
So for all intents and purposes, this is the last boss of the game.
No way I'm gonna leave them out there. You heard what Mickey said. I gotta find Pete and Maleficent.
But you don't even know where they are.
Then I'll just have to go look for them.
Aren't you afraid? All our memories, our entire existence, even this whole world could get erased.
I'm afraid. Why wouldn't I be?
I have a heart.
But you know why I have to do this.
Huh?
You've been in my shoes before. You fought with no one beside you. Because you knew that was a lot less scary than just sitting around and waiting by yourself for the end to come. Riku, you once said, what's important are the actions that you take. I don't know if there's any way that we can win, but I know I've got to at least try.
So, this makes perfect sense. The last boss of this game, which we're actually going to be getting to in a minute, I just want to talk about it now, is Sora's Heartless, or, more accurately, Data Sora's Data Heartless. It is the memory, the data version of Sora's Heartless that was written into the program. Written in there by Jiminy when he was writing the journal. I love it because this is so indicative of how negligent they are. What they did was they created this whole datascape of all the digital representations of all the worlds that they encountered, but all of them were running simultaneously. And again, parallels to the Matrix, it's not like one chunk of the Matrix is loaded and then he goes to another area and the next part is loaded. Everything is loaded simultaneously, right? So the whole time, while Sora was over here making his way through the different load zones, basically, of the datascape, Sora's Heartless, Data Sora's Heartless, or Sora's Data Heartless, depending on how you want to say that. You get the point, though. Was over here growing stronger and consuming more and more bugs. And it's this awesome boss fight because it starts off as this massive, powerful thing, and then over time it gets weaker and weaker until it gets to the point where it's literally just a little, a basic Heartless, whose name I can't even remember right now, the Pureblood thing. In other words, the same one that we actually played as back in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Excuse me there, Maleficent. But do you really think we're getting anywhere with this Colossus?
No matter. Any less...
That is Data Sora's Heartless, or Sora's Data Heartless, depending on which you prefer.
It's him! I fought this thing on the island, but I thought it got swept away into the darkness. along with everything else. Listen to me. You two need to get out of here.
Do you actually think I'll take orders from one such
Maleficent.
as you?
Yeah, but Maleficent, I think the pipsqueak here may have a point.
Silence, coward. You will do as I...
Maleficent. You need to stop being quite... You just need to
Pete!
tone it back a bit.
Maleficent!
This is a fun boss fight.
Unbelievable! This guy's a lot stronger than what I thought before. No way is this the same guy.
Rage, hatred, and now glitches to feed my
Feeds on the
darkness.
glitches?
Wait, that's it! Sora, you're not the only one who changed, who evolved within the datascape.
Riku, you want to fill me in?
Yes, but listen to me carefully. I know where the bugs came from. All of them. It's your shadow. It's your Heartless, Sora.
My Heartless?
You once turned into a Heartless. Though you may not remember. It was recorded into the journal along with everything else. Then it vanished. Your memories disappeared too, but you managed to get those back. For some reason, though, the pages of the journal, they stayed blank.
And you think my Heartless is responsible for that?
It makes sense. Everything in Jiminy's journal revolved around one person. And that person is you, Sora. Without you, there never would have been any entries. This whole time you've been evolving in the datascape, finding new strength. Your Heartless has been absorbing data and doing the same. It's grown, Sora. Just like you have.
But Riku, we put all the data back. That must have at least weakened it, right? I can still stop it, can't I?
No. I should have realized all of this sooner. Normally, defeating a Heartless causes its heart to be released. Then the heart's returned to the person who lost
This is a long speech.
But when you defeat Heartless here in the datascape, that wouldn't set any real hearts free. Remember, Sora, hearts can't be turned to data. Instead, I think what you released are probably the Heartless's minds.
I did all that? But then, where did the mines end up? Where could they have gone?
They're right in front of you. Your Heartless has been gathering, then devouring the dark intentions of all the fallen Heartless. That's where it gets its power. From dark data.
I am so powerful.
Just like you. It's become something greater. Something much more powerful.
If something this powerful got into Mickey's world? Oh no! I have to protect them. I'll use the strength they've given me.
Yeah, Leander. I could totally see that.
Is it over?
And soon hearts to sate my hunger.
Wait, how is this possible?
So round 2.
It's changing. No, it's evolving.
Don't give up, Sora!
Mickey! How?
Anything to help a friend. Don't you remember what I said? We always help friends. Even when the darkness closes in on you. All you have to do is look inside. And that's where you'll find your light. Come on, Sora. It's time to do this.
I like how they just kind of forgot that Mickey can re-enter and leave the datascape at will. So yeah, this is the actual, last form here. Sora's heartless there. Hi, Zira. To my knowledge, no Keyblade has ever been destroyable, Final Cloud.
Pete! Maleficent! You're here! You're all right!
I found them caught inside a rift in the data.
We were just fine. You will hear no words of thanks from me, child.
Of course not. Twit.
Sayonara to the 1, 2, 3 of you. I'm out. See you chumps on the other side.
Well, I think I'll keep an eye on them on their way out.
The Keyblade was kind of different.
And by the way, don't think we're letting you off the hook.
Pretty soon, the data will go back to its original form. The way it was before.
Ah, whoops,
all
sorry.
Those bugs
Sorry.
showed up.
It's
I was
time
resting
to
my
say
hand on the
goodbye.
controller.
What gives? Is it a glitch? There's some kind of lump in my throat.
Yes, there's a bug in your throat. Let me
It's
get it
not
out,
glitch.
Sora.
That's just what goodbye feels like. When we met in the datascape, it brought back a whole bunch of memories. The day I set out on my first big adventure.
Birth by
The
sleep.
day I made a new friend. A special friend.
That was
They all
Ventus.
came rushing back to me. I knew that the journal, it's not just a diary, it's a collection. A collection of all we felt. The journal shows what's in our hearts. I promise. We'll tell the other Sora and Riku about what happened here. That way, this journey that we just had will be one everyone shares. The
Hence why we
memories
had the
will
Mickey
always
narration.
Connect us. They'll be our own special bond. Remember, we're friends forever, Sora.
Yep. Friends forever, Your Majesty.
Okay, so we're about to talk about Kai finally.
It's finally clear
Finally.
What's that?
why that world they call the Date Escape seems so familiar.
Oh?
Of course, she would know about
A
this.
book known as the Ancient Book of Prophecies. It's said to be capable of transcribing events that have yet to take place.
No kidding. If we got our mitts on something like that, we could finally take over permanent life.
By the way, there's 5 such books.
Yes, considering legend has it the book can also conjure, making an entire world filled with beings and powers that have yet to exist.
Really? A book that could just make up a world? I don't know. That sounds like nothing more than fluffy pink kids' fairy tale stuff. It just sounds too good to be true.
Ah, but who's to say a fairy tale's not true?
I like the emphasis
And
on
I
fairy
ask
there.
How does that differ from this world they call the Date Escape?
Oh.
Don't you think it might just be worth our while to search for a connection? Perhaps there's a link of some sort between that so-called journal of theirs and the Book of Prophecies.
I'd say with that, we are onto something huge. Eh, Maleficent?
I was gonna
Ours
say,
is not a lost cause. First, we must take possession of this data of theirs.
time to talk for like half an hour. Okay, so... Oh, that was my neck. And yeah, Winnie the Pooh's book shows the same concept as the Book of Prophecies. So let's talk about Jiminy's Journal first. I think that's the best place to start. Jiminy's Journal somehow has the ability to be manifested like this. Basically, for all intents and purposes, Jiminy's Journal grows a heart. it has the ability to be functional as a data projection. Now, there's a few reasons why this could be, but the first question that needs to be asked as to why is the journal special? Or can any book do this? Could you take any journal, any dialogue, any book, anything, and you do the process of what happened to Jiminy's journal, which is nominate meddling with it first, and then Ansem doing a couple things we'll talk about later, and finally, but it's mostly nominate and the digital representation. So could you do that to anything? That is entirely possible. It is very possible that there really is nothing special about Jiminy's journal. It is worth noting, however, that, as I just mentioned, there was not a book of prophecy. There were 5 books of prophecies. It was, in other words, not just some artifact, but something that could be crafted. Something that was crafted and gifted to 5 of the foretellers. So, we're not really 100% sure what's going on with Jiminy's journal, and I can only give speculation. I myself tossed out the idea that maybe Jiminy's journal happened by circumstance to be one of the books of prophecy. But again, Winnie the Pooh's book does the same damn thing, without needing some kind of great ancient thing. Unless Winnie the Pooh's book is a book of prophecy, that would be funny. Either way, we don't know. We don't know if anything could do that, or we don't know if it has to be one of the specific books. But let's talk about Kingdom Hearts Kai. Kingdom Hearts Kai either takes place about a century and a half ago, rough figure, or right around the time of Kingdom Hearts 1, or in the present day. One of these 3 times is when Kingdom Hearts Kai is occurring. I know, that's probably not helping. Kingdom Hearts Kai is a browser/phone game that is only available in Japanese, that has incredibly bad gameplay in my opinion. Very boring, very dull. Explaining the premise involves lying. So I'm going to go ahead and lie to you first to explain the premise. The premise is that you are a Keyblade wielder in the time before the Keyblade War, and you are fighting to save the realms from the darkness, saving everything for the light. You are fighting on the side of light, yada, yada, yada. And so you go around doing these daily and weekly quests, and, you know, it's a browser/mobile game, pretty standard. And you choose one of 5 unions to join. And each of these unions are in competition with each other, and they actually will tally up the scores between the players who have joined the different unions over time. So, you know... Yes, Lazy, we're only showing cutscenes since I don't have a capture card. Sorry. There will be a bit of gameplay, actually, so no, it's not just cutscenes. But anyways, it'll be movie, in other words. They are free to disagree with me, Final Cloud. I've seen the gameplay. I've watched the gameplay. It looks immensely disinteresting to me. But that's not the point. Let's leave that argument outside, because we're not here to talk about the gameplay. We're here to talk about the story. So like I said, that's a lie. We interact with a creature called a Chirithy. I say a Chirithy because there are multiple Chirithys. I'm going to go ahead and drop you a big spoiler bombshell right now. They're Dream Eaters. The Chirithy are Dream Eaters. Now, if you don't understand the significance of that, a Dream Eater can only manifest inside someone. Inside a dream, in other words. So the mere fact that we are interacting with multiple Dream Eaters in Kingdom Hearts Kai is significant by itself. Second point. The Chirithy had a creator. It has yet to be mentioned... Oh, I'm sorry. Let me actually rewind a bit. This is actually relevant first. Kingdom Hearts Kai isn't done yet. Okay? It hasn't finished coming out yet. So any information I give you is actually incomplete. Okay? So there's going to be... This is one of the reasons why I'm not going to be going into a massive discussion about Kingdom Hearts Kai. Because I actually can't. It is incomplete. It is an incomplete story. I've actually done a fairly large amount of research, both before this and also over the past week or so, trying to prep for this to have as much information as I can for you. And I have my notes right there, which I'm glancing at every now and again to keep myself refreshed. But it's like talking about Chain of Memories when we haven't seen, Riku's story yet. There's only so much we can talk about. So just keep that in mind. It is also worth noting, just as another aside, something keeps being referenced in the game, which is referred to as the Unchained Dimension, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a moment. The 2.8 thing, the specific title for the section of that is the Kingdom Hearts Kai thing, is Kingdom Hearts Kai, Unchained. So, getting back to my point. So the Chirithes had a creator, some kind of thing that built them. And also that creator had 6 disciples. Of those 6, 5 of them were given a book of prophecy. And those 5 disciples basically rebranded themselves, took on new names, or were given new names, it's not 100% clear. And those new names were the 5 unions. The only union I'm going to mention to you right now is the Union of Unicornus, which I mentioned because the abandoned mansion in Twilight Town has a massive statue of a unicorn in the back. So, yeah. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Whatever. My bad. I screwed up the name thing. Back cover is 2.8. I thought Unchained was 2.8. Anyways, moving on. Hi, Darkrai. So they were rebranded. They formed these unions of Keyblade wielders. And by the way, there are lots of Keyblade wielders. Even in lore, there are hundreds upon hundreds of people who can wield Keyblades. It is a common trait. And the union leaders, the four foretellers, are basically just giving out Keyblades like candy at this point in time. Why? Well, any given foreteller you talk to, which will depend on which union you, the player, actually join, they will tell you that, they're trying to save the realm of light. There is this terrible prophecy that there will be this nightmarish war, and it will end the light, and the tyranny of dark will crush everything forever, and all that fun stuff. Oh my god, Dragoon, you're going to kill everyone, aren't you? Now, the funny thing is, I wish I'd written this down. The exact way the prophecy is written is basically, if you go to war, everything will be destroyed. So naturally, they all decide to go ahead and start fighting against the darkness to safeguard the light. And each given union will tell you that there is a traitor amongst the unions. One of the foretellers is a traitor, and that one is the one causing this horrible darkness to happen. And by the way, no matter what you're doing, you need to be careful of those other union members, because they're your enemy. Oh, I know, they're on the side of light, like we are, but they're using it for their own selfish purposes. So you need to give all the light to us, and make sure that this union, the union you have joined, is the one that gets all the... Make sure you're fighting for us, damn it. Yeah, if you're not getting it, the idea, at least this, based on what I've read so far, is that there really is no traitor. And there really is no one actually trying to turn them to the darkness. They're fighting each other for the light, and that's the problem. As an aside, one of the things they do is they send you to these other worlds to fight Emblem Heartless, which, again, don't exist yet. Now, in the interest of total fairness, it is possible that Emblem Heartless have been constructed, before the Keyblade War. So that is feasible. I don't think that's true at all, because of the next point I'm going to list. But let me get there. So you go around fighting all these Emblem Heartless, so and defeating the Heartless helps to save the light, so we must defeat these Heartless from everywhere, yada yada yada. That's your big goal, right? And you, the player, are probably the weakest protagonist in the history of Kingdom Hearts. All of these Keyblade wielders, in terms of overall strength, are way down there on the scale. So all these people are all, we must defeat all these Heartless, and you find out after some time there is a Keyblade wielder named Ephemera, who is a child. Ephemera, I'm not actually 100% sure how to pronounce it, but whatever. Ephemera is, Ephemera is pretty much flat out hinted out to be connected to Xehanort, and one of the children who survives the Keyblade War. But I don't want to get too much into that just yet. But as the reason I bring up Ephemera specifically is Ephemera teaches you several truths about things. For example, we're not actually fighting Emblem Heartless in the strictest sense of the word. We are manifesting them in order to harvest them. Now I want you to make this absolutely clear, okay? Each of these 5 unions, okay, each of these 5 unions has sending out Keyblade wielders on a daily basis to go fight manifested Heartless for their book of prophecy in order to win, in order to salvage the light. But I want to re-stress this, okay? We know digital things can be present in the real world. So the book of prophecies are manifesting tons and tons and tons of Heartless on purpose. And either they're unaware of the fact that those Heartless can still affect the real world, or they don't care, because they're just sending wave after wave of Keyblade wielders in order to defeat all the Heartless that they're unleashing. You can kind of see the self-defeating nature of this strategy. And of course, they're all doing it because, oh my god, we need to go and fight each other, basically. We must salvage the light. It's the only way. I actually have a note here which just says that all the foretellers are idiots. That was my note to remember that section. Sora, Donald, and Goofy are in Kingdom Hearts Kai, and that, by the way, is going to get a Sora, Donald, Goofy counter for their presence in Kingdom Hearts Kai. Now, this is where things get a little wonky. I've already mentioned 3 things that don't make sense if you're thinking about them. Thing number 1, there is a Dream Eater. There are multiple Dream Eaters. There's a Dream Eater for each player character in Kingdom Hearts Kai. That already doesn't make sense. Excuse me, you're right, Sora isn't there. Damn it, Sora isn't there. I can't give it the Sora, Donald, Goofy counter. Anyways, Donald, Goofy, and Mickey, and Chip, and Dale are all there. So, you killed my train of thought. Let's rewind. Dream Eaters, Emblem Heartless, and Mickey, and Donald, and Goofy, and Chip, and Dale are all there. How does that make sense? These 3 things do not cohere with each other. Oh, by the way, the weirdest thing about the presence of Goofy and Donald and Mickey, blah, 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 they have basically just constructed their gimme ship, and this is the really funny part. They're looking for a key. Goofy and Donald have been sent on a mission by Mickey to go and find the key. You know, the thing they did in the very beginning of the first Kingdom Hearts game, where they went to Traverse Town to look for this key, and they ended up finding Sora. So, none of this makes any degree of sense when combined with each other, right? There are several... I've got a few other things to mention, but there are several ways that all of this makes sense. The first and most obvious way, and this is the way that I've heard most people talk about, is that all of this happens in the past, and the books of prophecies are just manifesting what are effectively digital representations of the future. That the book of prophecies are unique from other digital things like the Digital Twilight Town or Jiminy's Journal or whatever, because they can make those digital worlds out of the future. And so they are pulling the Emblem Heartless from the future, and they are pulling, Sora and people from the future and all that fun stuff, and that's how they're manifesting there. There is one catch to that theory, and it's one that I've never heard anyone who espouses that theory explain. How are the Dream Eaters there? Because that doesn't actually fit. Dream Eaters cannot manifest outside of a dream state. By the way, I want to stress again, it was a pretty big reveal when we found out that the Chirathi were Dream Eaters. That didn't happen until a way in. Also, to keep with this thought and to kind of tie into the whole dream thing, Ephemera is in a place called the Unchained Dimension. Ephemera basically gets lost or trapped or travels there, we're not 100% sure. And Eva, I forget what her name is, but one of the foretellers talks to you about this and mentions how Ephemera is trying to reach out to you, the player character, from within the Unchained Dimension. And unfortunately, that's basically where the story stops at this point. I don't actually know much past this point. So I don't really know what's up with the Unchained Dimension or what's up with Ephemera. Ephemera has silver hair. Now, I mentioned that in a vacuum because other than Final Fantasy cameo characters, how many characters in Kingdom Hearts have silver hair? Xehanort. Yeah. Even as a kid. Riku. I'm actually not sure if there are any others, but those are the 2 big ones, and that's kind of my point. It is entirely within the realm of possibility that Ephemera either is a young Xehanort is a previous incarnation of Xehanort, or is Xehanort's father / master. Sephiroth is a cameo character, so he doesn't qualify either. Yeah. So like I said, there are some very definite parallels between Ephemera and Xehanort and Riku. We just don't exactly know what those are yet. Also, Ephemera is extremely intelligent, is very much on point with understanding things around him, and is young enough that the timeline would fit if Ephemera, who is a child, a young child, we're talking like 10, 12, 13 years old, that child who then goes through the events of the Keyblade War, survives it, and ends up on some place like, I don't know, Destiny Islands, where he then grows up into teenager form, where we see him as young Xehanort. You can see how this would line up, especially since we know for a fact that young Xehanort was not recruited to be a Keyblade wielder until after he was young Xehanort, until after the time manipulation machinations of older Xehanort. So, yeah. By the way, I wasn't counting Ansem or Xemnas, obviously, because they're only that way because of Xehanort. Anyways, but that's my believed connection between Ephemera and everything else. There's a couple other things that don't fully fit with that still, though. What's up with the Dream Eater situation? Why would Ephemera be in a different dimension? They literally call it a dimension, by the way. That's not me using words there. They call the Unchained dimension a separate dimension. So, well, the obvious thought there is that they're all in a dream, right? Yes, you are allowed to do so in the theory crafting section, Darkrai, because it's there for a reason. I'm sorry, I forgot to talk about one other thing. There's a character called the Unknown in Kingdom Hearts Kai. He wears the black cloak, the one that is iconic of the organization, the one that Xehanort used back in his days, the one that defends you from darkness. We know nothing about him. I'm just going to say that right now. We know nothing about him. There's a guy with a dark cloak there. That's it. That's all we got. We have seen zero dialogue from him or her. We have no idea what his connection or her connection is to everything. Except for one thing. We know the Black Cloak has actually talked with the Foretellers. That's it. That's all we got. Now, all of this can still be made sense if this all still is in the past, if the Foretellers are basically operating within the dream of someone else. And therefore you, the player character, are in a dream of someone else, and as are the Foretellers, because you can enter other people's dreams. And they are... the creator they refer to is the person that they are inside the dream of. Who that person is, I have no idea, and I could only speculate on it. But that's basically the explanation for how this could be happening in the past. There are two other explanations for when Kingdom Hearts Kai is happening. In the present, or in the slightly less past. We'll talk about the slightly less past first. The idea being that someone, most likely someone we already know, in fact my best bet in this case would be young Xehanort doing his time traveling, has gotten a hold of a book of prophecy and is using it in the sort of past in order to generate this entire situation based off of, basically making a digital world based off of the original events that happened back in the Keyblade War. So in other words, these events basically did happen. We're just seeing a recreation of them rather than the events themselves. And he is doing this because empty vessels. Because remember, a data recreation of someone does not have a heart at first. It has a heart as experiences, as it grows over time. And we also know that one of the Foretellers is missing, has just vanished, and no one's entirely certain where they are. And there's an individual with a black cloak wandering around inside of the realm, inside of the Kingdom Hearts Kai realm. So it's entirely possible that young Xehanort, back during Kingdom Hearts 1, found one of the books of prophecy, used it to create this place, and was pulling out people specifically to be vessels for the future. That's the sort of past theory. The present theory is actually very, very similar. The only difference is instead of it being young Xehanort, it is Master Xehanort doing it, reconstituted after Dream Drop Distance. And Master Xehanort has been using it for the exact same purpose that young Xehanort was using it for. In other words, empty vessels to create his kingdom, his 13. Both of these make sense for the same reason. This is a bit of a bombshell, if you haven't really thought about this. Xehanort does not have 13 darknesses. He doesn't. By the end of Dream Drop Distance, he pretends he does. He lies that he does. He manipulates the group into thinking that they have no choice but to create the 7 lights in order to oppose him and ensure that they will go forward with his plans, but he does not actually have 13 darknesses at that point in time. Not as presented, at least. The only way he would have 13 darknesses is if he has already crafted them from other people, from the other things we've already seen. Now, I'll talk more about this later, and why he does not have 13 darknesses, but I'll give you 4 reasons right off the top of my head. Xehanort, young Xehanort, Ansem, Xemnas. Of these 4, only one of them is actually existent in the present. The others revert. We see them revert on screen, and they go back where they came from. Yeah. So it is entirely possible that Master Xehanort is using this book to grab for himself more empty vessels, in the same way that Xemnas was trying to use both the organization members, the nobodies, and the replicants in order to use them as empty vessels. This is a recurring theme, and I've pointed this out several times as we've been going through this. So, yeah. That's basically, yes, what I am saying, Summer Haze. Now, all of this is theory. Again, Kingdom Hearts Kai has not finished yet, and they may pull another twist that we can't even speculate on. But it does make a lot of things make sense, except for one. The one thing that doesn't fit in any of these 3 theories is the presence of a Dream Eater. The only possible explanation I could come up with for the Dream Eater is the one I've already shared with you. That these are happening in the past inside someone's dream. Which, it seems like an unnecessary layer. I'm not sure why that would be there. So why is the Dream Eater there? Now, the easy explanation is, well, they're not. It's a digital Dream Eater, so it doesn't follow the same rules as standard Dream Eaters. And that could make sense, but why a Dream Eater, then? Why connect each Chirithy to the person who wields it? We actually see what happens to one of the Keyblade wielders in Kingdom Hearts Kai when the Keyblade wielder fades into darkness. The Chirithy goes away. It is so integrally tied into its Keyblade wielder that it is no longer present. And that's true. Heartless do not exist within the Dream Realm, so you're right. That theory doesn't work at all. So again, the one piece of Kingdom Hearts Kai that doesn't fit, no matter how I think about it, because I lack information on it, is the Dream Eater aspect. One way or another, that doesn't fit. And we don't really know why yet. So that's Kingdom Hearts Kai in a nutshell. And I think you probably understand why I decided to wait until Recoded to talk about it, given the events of this game. So without further ado, why don't we get to the best part of Recoded? Unless anyone has any questions, in which case feel free to ask, and I'll answer them in about 30 seconds. Which do you think is more likely, Samurai? Partial past or present? For the simulation idea. I want to remind you guys again that they're about to erase the memories of a real person. 2 real people, actually. There's only one thing that doesn't make sense with the present. Why have Goofy and Donald and Mickey there? Why have them there from the point in time at which they popped in? That's such an odd time disparity. I mean, if it's a simulation of all the events prior to and during the Keyblade War, why suddenly have this one sliver that happens during Kingdom Hearts 1? Also, that is the same style of the Kingdom Hearts Kai graphic style, which I don't think was done on accident. It's just, I think it's a way to visually relate the two, basically.
Hey, we never did figure out that mysterious message.
Nope, it was all for nothing.
Guys, big news. A new world has shown up inside the journal.
What do you mean?
I've found another door leading to extra data. Somebody must have added it, once all the other data was restored.
And if we explore that world...
Then we should get some answers about this message.
Great! Let's ask Sora to...
When we fixed the data, everything in the journal went back to the way it started. Remember?
Which means that Sora's journey through the datascape, it never happened to him. Why, now he's just the same boy he was before he ever met any of us.
I'm fine. My partition isn't affected. But Sora, we can't send him out there when he doesn't know what's going on.
Wait! Hey, Riku! Could you help me get back into the datascape one more time?
Ah. So, this is a little messed up. Oh, by the way, the one and only thing I don't like about Theater Rhythm is that art style. Hate that crap.
Hey!
I guess that could explain it, Fugue.
Huh? Sora, this was the day that your journey began. I know, because I was here too. It's time for the truth.
Where am I?
Remember, this is a data Sora
How'd I end
who
up
has a
in this
heart,
place?
who has had his memories.
And who are you?
Even the good guys use Sora.
I've come here from another kind of world.
Another kind of world?
Their hurting will be mended when you return to end it. It's a message, and you're the only one with the power to solve the mystery behind it. So we really need your help.
Power? What's that? Whoa! What's that?
You may not remember, but it's clear you still hold the power inside you.
Yes, he still has a heart.
Think you'd be willing to lend us a hand? You might help us figure out the truth.
Gosh, I don't have a clue what's going on. I don't, but at the same time, what you're saying feels kind of familiar.
This is yet another repetition of the even if your memories are gone, etchings of what happened will remain in your heart. As an aside, that's going to be really important when we get to Dream Drop Distance.
So this truth you're talking about, do you think it involves me somehow?
Actually, I'm not exactly positive. However, I get the sense it's something important you need to know.
Yeah, I know, right,
Information that
Kishno?
I'm supposed to know then, well... Okay, Mickey. I'll help.
Thank you. Let's go. Just follow my lead.
I do feel that this is a little messed up, that they're so willing to just use Data Sora here. I mean, the first time, at least, he was effectively a UI. This time, he's a person, and it's like, really?
Whoa.
So, this is my favorite part of the game.
Truth's hiding somewhere in
I
here.
love this part of the game. Data
Hey,
Castle Oblivion.
Mickey?
I have to explain something because unfortunately the movies don't really get this across. So as I've talked about before, each section of Recoded basically has a new gameplay style. You know, side-scroller, platforming, and the Star Fox style thing, and the ATB system. You know, we've had all this stuff. This section is choose your own adventure. I'm serious. You go into... I'm going to talk about this, but we go into areas, and it's like there's characters there, and depending on what you do, how you talk to them, you can actually choose a different outcome of what's going to happen. And there's usually 3 different outcomes for each area you go through. And it's brilliant, and it's awesome, and it's so freaking horrifying. This whole section is incredibly just... This is the creepiest thing in the entire series. I'm not kidding. You'll see what I mean.
Guess he went ahead.
This is messed up. So this is Data Sora. That's
Who are
Data
you?
Roxas.
Me? I'm nobody. In this place, to find is to lose. And to lose is to find. That's the way of things. Here in Castle Oblivion.
Castle Oblivion?
That's right. Here you will meet people you know. People that you care about.
Here's a card.
It's a kind of card with a picture on it.
Use that card and press on. You will find the truth that sleeps up ahead.
Well, wait. But how am I supposed to use this? He could have told me that much.
God,
and why does he seem so familiar?
That's right, even Data Sora has enough of a connection to real Roxas to notice the connection there. To remember him. Unfortunately, all the dialogue does not carry through into this version I'm showing you guys now. I'm just going to share with you one line. We'll talk about it in just a minute, okay?
What just happened to me?
Look at them. Okay, look at the pictures. This is so goddamn... Remember how I talked about that perception thing? About how sometimes, you know, what your eyes are literally seeing, the light being bounced, is not what you are perceiving? This is the strongest example of that in the entire series. You see those pictures back there. Pictures from Destiny Islands. It's a blank white room with pictures of Destiny Islands in it. But Sora and the projections in here all act as if they're actually on Destiny Islands. That's true for Agrabah. That's true for Wonderland. It's true for all the worlds that are represented. It's this tiny white room with pictures up, and everyone acts as if it's actually the world they're from. And it's so creepy. I mean, and when I say acts, I don't mean like, oh yeah, this is totally this place. They actually behave as if they're there. It's very natural.
Oh, that card's special. It will cause you to see people. Well, illusions to be exact. They're from Jiminy's journal. It's all of the very same data that you worked so hard to fix.
Jiminy? What did I fix? I don't get it.
My mistake. Someone must have pressed the reset button on your memory.
Exactly, Samurai.
All you remember is leaving the island.
In other words, yeah, just to say this out loud for anybody who didn't catch that comment, this is what Castle Oblivion actually looks like without a perception filter. Every time we were going through those rooms back in Castle Oblivion based on our memories, this is what it actually looked like. We didn't see that because we were portrayed as Sora. That's why we kept going through and we acted like we were actually there. Remember that? I kept pointing that out in Chain of Memories. We kept forgetting we were in Castle Oblivion. We were actually acting like we were in Agrabah, and everyone there was acting like they're actually in Agrabah. But this white room with these pictures and this total disconnect, this is what was actually happening.
Just the same, you'll remember the folks you meet here. At least you should.
It gets creepier.
I don't understand. What is it that I'm supposed to do?
Whatever you want.
Huh?
Do whatever you want.
There's no script to follow.
Choose your own adventure.
The journal's the closest thing you've got. But that doesn't mean you'll see the things it says. And who really cares? Everything that happens here, and everyone you meet, is just an illusion.
So then, I can do whatever I want to do?
Yes.
Hey, come back! He's gone. Huh?
Hey! So, again, they don't actually show all of this. But one of the most... There's a line I'll never forget that is so damn creepy. I forget which world it is. I want to say it's Wonderland. But after you finish Wonderland, Sora is literally in the middle of a sentence. Like, he's talking there, and he's talking to the Red Queen, or he's talking to Alice, or something like that. And he's in the middle of the sentence as he leaves the room, and in mid-sentence, he forgets he was ever there. As in, he's basically saying, oh man, I sure hope Alice is okay, and I really hope that... Who was I talking about? Bam! Gone. Every time you move forward a room, memory is completely wiped.
Well, you did it again, Sora.
Wait a sec. Riku, why are you here?
I've got something that you need to see. It'll help you.
Yeah? What is it?
A hidden truth that's nowhere to be found, even in the deepest corners of your memories. It's something I want you to see, and something I want you to feel.
I know you wouldn't ask if it wasn't really important. I'll do it.
Also,
thank you,
the
Sora.
parallels here between this and Shion are huge.
Close your eyes.
Basically, the entire idea here of what Data Roxas is and Data Nominee are putting Sora through, and pause for just a second, is to try and get across the fact that even if you don't remember something, you still feel it. I've actually mentioned this several times. I keep referring to these etchings of the heart, and again, this will be coming up very, very powerfully in Dream Drop Distance. The point here is, again, Sora's memory is wiped each time he moves forward a different room. Every single room he goes through, no memory of what happened. But as he goes further and further through these rooms, it hurts more and more and more. And he doesn't know why. Because he didn't remember anything. He hasn't done anything. He's just still here talking to Data Roxas. But for some reason, he's got this ache, just like Roxas does, for the person he forgot.
Wasn't that Riku and Kairi? That's right. I was on a journey to find you guys.
Darkness had taken a hold of my heart, and Kairi had lost hers completely. But at the end of your journey, you would have saved us, Sora. Think about it. What did Kairi and I have in common? When you watched, what did you feel?
Something you have in common.
It was hurt.
Yep.
We had both lost ourselves. And we were hurting in a way we'd never hurt before. There's no greater pain in the world. I ask you, Sora, what would you have done?
I would have helped you, of course. Both of you.
I would have figured out how to undo the hurt.
I thought you'd say that. And you're right. You would. Or should I say, you will.
That's a relief. Hey, then what was with the sneak preview?
I just wanted you to see. You always make the right choices. On the road ahead, more than one truth will come to light. You'll forget things, lose things that you care about, and it won't always make sense. It'll be frustrating, and it'll make you angry.
Oh, it will.
It may even hurt so badly you'll feel like you're about to lose yourself.
And you will lose yourself.
But don't worry, Sora. That won't happen to you. You won't let it. You're like a sponge. No matter how much pain they throw at you, you'll suck it up and leave things a little bit better. Just follow your heart, and you can change the lives of not one, but many. You don't have to do anything special. Just do what you do. Be yourself. After all, that's what you're good at. Do what feels right to you.
You got it.
Take care, Sora.
Remember, that's not Riku. Or Data Riku. Or Repliku. Or Data Repliku.
No one's here.
That's just another illusion that talks to him. Just like all the rest
Well,
do.
Sora, how was it? Did you have fun chatting and hanging with the ghosts?
You shouldn't call them ghosts. Sure, something was a little off, but I'm certain those three are still my friends.
Friends? You don't say. So then what were their names again? Tell me.
Oh, I don't even have to think. What? Why can't I remember? I know them.
Nope.
Like I said, Everything in this castle is just an illusion. And once the illusions vanish, you'll forget all about your little reunion.
I'll forget?
Hey, no big deal. The fact that you can't remember them just means they weren't very important to you to begin with. Isn't that right?
That's not true! Of course my friends are always important to me. Okay, maybe I forgot what just happened and who I met inside that room. Trust me, I know I'll remember everything again.
Sure.
Data Roxas manipulates the hell out of Data Sora here, by the way.
More cards?
All of these cards were created from the data in the journal, and all of them will show you more illusions. But from now on, the illusions won't be of your friends. You're fresh off the island, which makes everyone you meet total strangers. Here's a fun little thought. The folks you're about to see, you can fight them all you like.
Huh?
What do you care? They're only strangers. Actually, illusions of strangers. Just a collection of empty bits of data. They won't be able to make the distinction between what's real and what's not. They'll look at the white walls of this castle, and what they'll see are the worlds they call home. Anyway, the truth would be wasted on them, so why bother? They're only there until they're not. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Listen to the way he phrases his words, by the way. He is implying, but not outright stating that someone who is temporary, someone who is going to fade, doesn't matter. And they're only there until they're not. The guy voicing Roxas is brilliant. He does a great job of Roxas the kid. He does a great job of Roxas the zombie. He does a great job of Roxas the angry. He does an amazing job of Ventus. And here, he plays someone who is bitter. Incredibly, massively bitter. There is so much resentment leaking through his words.
Nothing's real. You can break the little hearts they don't have and then forget about it. No hurt feelings, no baggage. It's that simple. You don't have a heart. It's 100% guilt-free.
That's what you think.
What?
It's obvious you know nothing at all. Everything you say is a lie. I might have the strength to hurt someone, but what exactly would be the point? I know that it would tear me up inside.
Yes, Darkrai, I'm well
That
aware.
ache would stay with me for a long time. You might not know it now, but I hope you'll see that nothing is guilt-free in this world.
You've arrived at the first question.
Huh?
Again, Data Roxas is manipulating
that
Data
guy?
Sora here. Constantly
So, with these
lying to
cards,
him to try
I'm
and
gonna
lead him
run into
towards a
people from the
particular
past.
line of thought.
I have no idea who, but it'll be fun.
And as Darch Monster points out, he's right. You could go through these worlds and treat these people like trash. Ruin their lives, kill them in some cases. Doesn't matter. They don't matter. And then you leave the world, and then you can go back to it. In fact, you're actually encouraged to go back to get all 3 endings for each world for the Choose Your Own Adventure thing. And when you go back, they have no memory of how badly or good you've treated them. This section is so
Guy wasn't
goddamn
kidding
wonderfully
around.
horrifying.
I really can't remember who it was I met just now. Or can I? I give up. I don't remember. That's weird. I don't know what this is. Wait, is this what heartache feels like?
It's available
Just
on the
thinking
DS.
about them causes pain inside. Hold on. If I really forgot about all those friends completely, that would mean I shouldn't be missing anyone. That makes sense. So I haven't forgotten all of it then. There's got to be more I still don't know. I just need to find something to trigger my memory. Nice! Here goes.
So next we go through Wonderland. This is probably my favorite one. You basically have to decide who's guilty, and you can actually have Alice condemned to death in this one. Or you can be really, I forget how it works exactly, but like you can be really, really nice to the Queen of Hearts, and she gets so pissed off at you that she's nice to you back out of revenge. It's great. Yes, I have, Sethos. Ugh. I don't want to talk about it here, though. Spoilers.
So, Sora, how was your time with... who was it again?
I can't remember anything at all. But you already knew that, didn't you?
You seem pretty calm. Guess you decided they weren't worth stressing over. Out of sight, out of mind, right?
That's wrong.
What?
It's like you said. Everyone I met, I can't remember. But still... I'm frustrated that I've forgotten them. I feel moments of loneliness. You said there would be no hurt feelings, but I am hurting. When the memories are gone, they just leave a hole.
Yes, Samurai.
And having that longing inside me hurts. But it'll help me somewhere down the road. It's the key I'll need to unlock all my memories.
Right on schedule.
I'm going to go ahead and let you in on a little secret right now. This is a password. Everything that Datasaur is going through is he is effectively meeting certain requirements that is the password in order to be able to access the data within, Data Nominee. This is all a requirement to make sure that only someone with the right mindset and with the right perspective on things can actually access that data. Because what Data Nominee wants is for real Sora to do exactly what Data Sora is talking about right now. Finding some kind of thing to fix all of the hurting that is within him, to restore all of those memories, and thus restore all of those people that he can. I have to Final Cloud, except for the one. So I guess I'll show off the one that I don't have to as well, just once.
The sadness of knowing you forgot someone who matters to you. Something like that will gnaw at you forever. But you believe that somehow by carrying around that kind of hurt, you'll be able to retrieve the memories you lost. That's what you're thinking, right, Sora?
Right. What's so funny?
I can't believe you fell for it so easily.
Huh?
I told you when you arrived. Remember, in this place, to find is to lose, and to lose is to find. Well, you've lost your memories, and the only thing you found in return is hurt. And by deciding that hurt was the key to remembering, you gave up all hope of ever being free from it. The hurt owns you now, Sora. Don't you see that? It's a wound that will never mend. That hole in your heart will grow bigger until darkness finally claims it.
The darkness? Was this all just a big trick to pull me in?
See you around, Bragwin.
Afraid so. And all it took was a handful of illusions. Your heart was just way too easy to break, Sora.
Not true!
And again, a heart that is too easy to break cannot endure these memories and these realities. So Datasaur here is not, if his heart was to break, would not succeed in completing the password here and therefore be able to access Data Nominee. Fun fact, once Sora returns his memories to himself, he actually can't take it, and his heart does actually break and get consumed by darkness. I know, I've said that like 5 times, but it keeps being relevant, because there's tons of foreshadowing for that moment throughout this series.
it's not too late to run.
Huh?
Why should you keep the hurt inside? Just tell yourself you need to forget about the people you met in this place. You'll have no one to miss, no cause for loneliness, no hurt to keep eating away at your heart. Sora, it's your call. Cling to the memories you've lost, and the hurt they bring, till you're dragged into the darkness. Otherwise, let it all go, and then you can be free and happy. The decision is completely yours.
Wait!
It's a nice touch that they show Roxas's face in the hood, henceforth. They only do that a very small handful of times in the entire series. Once with Xemnas, once with Xion, here with Roxas, once later with Ansem the Wise. I think that's actually it.
Should I use this? But if I were to do that,
Oh god,
then
Darkrai.
I'd meet a friend and forget right away. I don't know if I want that. It's just going to bring more hurt. And if he's right, the darkness will eventually take over me completely.
Do you have a strong enough heart?
But I don't see any other way out of here. Guess this card is my only option. That is, unless I let go of the hurt. Once I go out of this room, I'll forget all about what happened and everyone I just met. Instead of carrying that hurt around until it consumes me, maybe I should let it go. What's inside my heart? What am I supposed to do? I feel so lost.
Hey, Sora! Can you hear me? Sora!
Huh? I know that voice! Mickey, is that you? Where are you?
Sorry, Sora. I'm still trying to find a way to get to you.
That's a good
right
point.
Now, the best I can do is to send my voice to where you are.
It's okay. Hey, Mickey? Maybe you can help me with something. I keep forgetting people I meet in this place. And this guy says if I dwell on what I've lost, the hurt is going to take over me. And I don't want that.
I understand. Question is, are you okay with letting go of the folks that you've forgotten?
Huh? Who are they?
Well, even though you may not remember them, they definitely remember you. You'll always be a really close friend to them, no matter what happens.
Yeah, we've been having friendships, and I'll never forget you.
And even if you don't ever really know who we are, I hope you'll remember that. You'll always be special to us.
How can that be?
Why don't you ask your heart? What are you feeling right now, Sora?
I don't know what this is. Who are these two? I don't think that we've ever met. But I feel like I know them.
Memories can disappear, but feelings don't. Not even when your data was reset. Inside your heart, the adventures you shared with the friends you made in the datascape will always live on. And you know what? I'll bet that's also true for all the time you spent with the folks that those cards show to you.
So it's not what's missing that's causing the hurt. It's actually what's not missing. If that's true... Hey!
Uh-oh. Looks like I've used up too much power. I'll be there soon, Sora. I promise. Just try and hold on a little bit longer for me, okay?
Mickey!
I was going to point that out too, Leander. In Dream Drop Distance, Sora didn't actually have anyone to help strengthen his heart. And remember, Sora is very weak. We've established this many, many times. The only thing that makes Sora strong is his connections to others. If Sora had had someone there for him in Dream Drop Distance, he would have made it. But he didn't have anyone.
I hate feeling like this. Oh. I wonder, does this count as hurt? If I let it, will this pull me into the darkness?
Hey, actress.
I can do this. There's no going back. Just one more card.
Now, this is important. I don't know if you've really been paying attention, but this world makes it clear these are not worlds constructed based off of Sora's memories. These are worlds constructed based off of Data Sora's memories. This is a key and crucial distinction, and again helps distinguish Data Sora from Sora. Yes, it is, Fuke, absolutely.
You've used up all the cards, I take it? I would ask if you enjoyed your little trip. But we both know that you've forgotten it. That you're feeling pretty empty.
No, I'm not. I may not remember who I met, but I do remember that I met them. And knowing that I've forgotten them, I miss them.
So you heard. I warned you. Don't you remember what I said? That hurt will drag you down into the darkness. You have to get rid of all of it.
No, I don't. I can keep the hurt because it reminds me of something important.
I'm sorry to... I couldn't think of a better place to pause to mention this. One of the things I've talked about is that throughout most of the games, one of the big arcs that Sora's going through, that he doesn't finish until the end of Dream Drop Distance, is growing up. And the realities of what that mean. The realities of consequence, the realities of hurt, as is mentioned here, the realities of letting go, of not always being able to make things work. This has basically been Sora's arc throughout the course of the entire series up to Dream Drop Distance, where it was finally completed. I mention that because this is a small microcosm of that arc here. What Data Sora is recognizing and realizing here is what it took Sora, what, like 4 games to accomplish? In other words, just because it hurts doesn't mean you need to let go of that hurt. Sometimes in real life we need to accept the fact that some of our memories and some of our loss and some of our everything else hurts. And we shouldn't go out of our way to get rid of that hurt. We shouldn't try to escape from it. We shouldn't try to fight it. It is simply a part of life.
It lets me know that what I've forgotten is crucial. That's enough. I won't run from it. It'll stay inside of my heart until the day I remember.
The darkness will take you first.
Yes, Shadow.
If I put the hurt aside, I'll lose my ties to all the people I care about. My mind's made up. I may end up falling into the darkness, but I'll carry this with me.
Yeah, the anti-Jedi doctrine.
I'll
Good
only
way to
get
put
rid
that.
of it when I remember everything, and not a day sooner than that.
And another parallel between this and Star
I'll keep
Wars.
the hurt with me for the time being. It's all that I have. It's what holds the pieces in place. I accept that.
Yeah, Data Roxas is pissed here, but of course he should be.
You accept it?
After all he's been through.
Game.
This fight, holy crap.
It's
This
way past time
was
that you
amazing.
learned what real hurt feels like.
This is the real final boss right here. Data Roxas. I almost wish they'd shown more of it.
Come on, Sora. Do it. Finish me off. Why won't you do it? I get it. You've seen through my disguise. I'm just like everyone else you've encountered in this place. Made of data. I'm not even worth the effort. Is that what it is? Guess there's no point in destroying something if it never existed. Is that right?
Not at all. You say that you're an illusion, but you certainly pack a really big punch. You said that you'd show me hurt, and you weren't wrong. Actually, the hurt that I just felt was more than that. Sure, it might have hurt while we were fighting, but I sensed a different kind of hurt from you. It was kind of like an intense, sharp pain.
Imagine how much pain Roxas must
But
be
it
in.
felt
Real
sort
Roxas.
of familiar. Almost like it was my own. As if we'd been connected. Like right then we shared the same hurt. If somehow it brings me closer to people in that kind of way, then carrying around a little hurt can't be all that bad.
Can't be all that bad. All right, I give up. Here.
Take a drink.
You pass, Sora. Congratulations, you understand hurt. Now, use this to find the truth.
What do you mean?
My role was to see if you were ready to take ownership of the hurt inside you.
Like I said, password.
And now that role is done. Nothing left for me to do but go away.
Are you gonna go back home?
I don't know if I really have one. But there's a place I'd like to be.
A place? Where? Oh! What's this feeling? I've got memories that don't belong to me. A place to call home. And a sunset that's comforting. My first and my last
summer vacation.
You can rest easy. I've got you now.
As much as it sounds sappy, I kind of hope we see Data Sora and possibly, well, just Data Sora actually continue on in some manner after this point.
Mickey!
I'm so glad I finally caught up to you. Sorry that it took me so long. I know you ended up having to do all the work on your own. I just couldn't get here sooner.
It's okay. You're here now. Look, if I use this card, it'll lead us to the truth.
Is that right? The message said their hurting will be mended when you return to end it. Maybe
Yeah,
now we
thought
can
of that.
finally solve it.
Considering
find out.
they can create a digital world, they could basically give Data Sora a happy ending pretty easily. Just keep the journal manifesting the digital world, and there you go. Live his own life. Granted, that means some other complexities, but whatever. So to be clear, this is data nominee. This is something that was put into the journal after it was all messed up.
Who are you? Oh. It's like when I met Mickey. I don't know you, but you're familiar.
Nice to meet you, Sora. I am Naminé. You may not know who it is I am, but I know things about you.
So what exactly is going on here?
Sora, maybe I can explain. There was a time when you lost every one of your memories. But everything turned out to be okay because Naminé helped you through it.
Wow.
Neither, Michael.
You really did that for me, Naminé?
He's still in the Matrix.
You deserve a big thanks.
No, I don't. I put your memories back together. That part is true. But it was also me. I was the one who took them apart in the first place.
Huh?
Not only that, the reason all of the bugs appeared in Jiminy's journal, that was me.
What? Tell us what you mean.
It all began with these memories that were sleeping way down deep. Deep in Sora's heart.
These are my memories?
Actually, no, they're not yours. They belong to people who are connected to you.
Oh, Castle Matrix
Huh?
then, Michael.
Isn't it weird for somebody else's memories to be inside me?
Yes. Usually it's impossible. When I first found them while repairing your memory, I thought I had made some sort of mistake. But then, after searching for answers, all the evidence I found proved they belong in your heart. Sora will have to awaken these memories. But this is where they will sleep until that time comes. They are important. And yet, dangerous too.
Naminé, how are they dangerous?
These memories, all of them are too painful. Handled the wrong way, they could damage Sora's heart, even break it. That's why I needed for Sora to find a way to face that kind of hurt. So I left the message for all of you.
Their hurting will be mended when you return to end it. That was you. You're the one who left us that message.
When I unraveled Sora and the others' memories, it also erased the words in Jiminy's journal. That book was filled with pages and pages of memories from your first adventure. It shows how deeply the journal and Sora are connected. When I
Tied
took
to the
Sora's
darkness.
memories
Oh,
apart,
sorry.
they stayed in his heart. It may have looked like they were gone, but they were there the whole time. Even after the text disappeared from the journal, the memories remained. That's why you were able to render them as data.
Yeah, but the data we got was a mess. And then all those bugs appeared. Jiminy never wrote about any bugs.
That was... me too. When I added these memories to the journal, I also added all this hurt. I thought that maybe if you fought the bugs that sprang from these memories, you might learn to face the hurt in the memories themselves.
Just to make this clear if you're missing it, this entire series of events was all deliberately started by Data Naminé as a way to try and prepare the heroes, Data, Sora, Mickey, etc., for when the real memories inside Sora would be restored. The memories of Roxas, the memories of Xion, the memories of Ventus, and Terra, and Aqua.
So that's what it was. I didn't realize you had to go through so much
Correct,
trouble
Celestial.
to get us to investigate this hurt.
The bugs
Naminé.
weren't actually bugs.
I'm sorry.
They were just hurt.
I wish I could have told you this in person. But the real me is gone. She doesn't exist now.
Guys? You kinda lost me a few minutes ago.
Says the audience.
You don't have to understand it. You have already learned how to face the hurt, Sora.
I did?
You most certainly did. At times, the pain can be wiped away. But there's also a pain that always stays with you. There's only one way to deal with that. You face it head on, and then you accept it. And if it happens that the hurt is too great for you to bear it alone, well then you turn to a friend close to your heart.
It'll bring us closer together. The hurt will only make us stronger. I'm willing to try. I'm ready to face all those memories that you found. It might have to be painful, but I can take it.
Sora!
Wait. You're not in this alone. Always remember, I'm here too.
Yep.
Thank you. Just touch this. Don't be afraid. You'll feel all of the memories that are locked inside flow right into your hearts.
It's implied by this, by the way, that Mickey actually forgot about the trio, and it's not until this moment that he remembered them. And of course, he forgot about them because of all the events that happened to them. The whole name erasure thing. Or because he's an idiot. Take your pick. Both are possible. Notice this song is actually from Birth by Sleep. So they remember Roxas and Axel.
These are hidden truths. Sora has been keeping them locked away, deep inside of him. Remember, these memories you're feeling...
And Shion.
They don't belong to him.
Naminé, that's you. Who's the other girl? She
And
feels
Naminé.
so familiar. And something happened. Something terrible. Didn't it?
They're waiting for Sora. He's the only one who can put an end to their hurt. Diz told me he hid something inside you during the year you were asleep. I asked him what, and all he would say was that he was clearing his conscience.
Correct, Samurai.
Sora must be the key to saving the people you saw. And the ones you're about to see.
And of course, we know who these three are.
It can't be.
Maybe you know how much they're hurting. These three were keys too. They were connected to the Keyblade's truth. And they're still connected, Sora. Somewhere way down deep inside of you.
Funny. I feel as though I've met them.
Yes, 2 of them you have met. As for the third, I never realized it, but you and he share a very special connection.
Yeah.
Naminé, you said Sora has to call these memories to the surface. Is it time?
No.
I can't say for sure, but I do know. A day will come when they must rise from their sleep. And then, the only one who can save them will be Sora.
And by God,
Well,
we'd
we all
better
share.
do that at
That's
3,
gonna
or
be
I'm
the
gonna be
key, right?
pissed.
Don't worry, Naminé. I'll make sure I pass this on to Sora. You know, the one in the outside world.
Please do.
Okay.
Well...
Just a second.
Huh?
Our promise. Your promise to the me I don't know. You kept it, right?
I may be gone, but my promises to him are forever. And anyway, I owe this much. For all those people that I hurt.
So what happens to you? The one that's right here?
I'm really just data made to pass along a message. I shouldn't exist right now in this journal at all. And now the record of me will disappear. But when you pass my message on to the other Sora, just remember to tell him the things that you've seen and that you felt.
Of course there is, Green.
If you do that,
Not that I want them to.
then we'll be at rest. Her and me too.
Along with everybody connected to Sora. Naminé, you got it. Oh yeah. I almost forgot. I have a message for you too. Thank you
Took a while to get there. And it's Data Sora telling it to Data nominate, but hey, at least they finally got that thank you out.
And so ended our journey to connect those memories
Yes, Green.
with these. Sora, when Nominee's words are passed on to you, when the day comes that you learn of this great, unknown, and mysterious adventure, it's important that you understand, whatever you feel in your heart, that's what he felt in his.
Yep, there it is. I was just sitting there on the mute button, ready for that. One more scene after the credits. Ugh, after we listen to the dumb song I hate! Ugh! You know, I wouldn't hate this song if not for frickin' EMI. Hashtag screw EMI! If I didn't have to mute my frickin' ruminations and lore runs and everything every time this frickin' song comes up, because, oh my god! We own the rights to that song! And we want to make sure you don't play it! Because we're stupid! I don't even have an answer. I don't even have an answer. Anyways, whatever, moving along. Where was I? I was actually going to say something. Yeah, so anyways, that's why I say Recoded. I correct myself and my old stupidity. Recoded is relevant to the overall series because of its connections to Kai, because of the nature of an artificial being generating a heart, as what happened with Data Sora, and of course for the fact that this is pretty much confirmation that Xion, Roxas, Axel, Naminé, Terra Aqua, and Ventus are going to be relevant in the future, as all of them are mentioned as the individuals who have been hurt. So, you know. So, yeah, we're just gonna sit here for a bit. Is there like a fast forward button? Come on! Let's go! Let's go! Come on! Yeah, whatever. Ugh. Oh yeah, Zigbar's mentioned in the credits. That's kind of a spoiler in the credits there, isn't there? I know what you're saying. What? Why is Zigbar mentioned in the credits? You'll see. At least I think it's in this. I'm pretty sure it's in this. 'Cause, yeah. Yeah, no kidding, Michael. Yeah, as young Xehanort is here, too. Of course we are, Hemo. Otherwise I would have already cut it off. Screw this mute crap. I'd be like, and Lorerun over, bam! But no, we're going to go ahead and watch the Zigbar and young Xehanort scene. Oh my god. Let's see. I don't have anything to talk about, actually. Next up is Birth by Sleep, of course. Oh, that's right. That's the other scene. So we've got two endings in this one. I forgot about that. Because to me, it's old news that Xehanort's returning and they need to do the Mark of Mastery exam. I keep forgetting that that was announced in Recoded. Like, that was when they first made that big reveal. I kind of, yeah, spaced that. Anyways, after I finish Birth by Sleep, Darkrai, of course. So, yeah, oh my god, we get it! Why are we still going through these credits? Why? I just want to get onto the secret ending! It's not that hard! I hope they don't use Utada at all, but that is, of course, some selfishness on my part, and it's for the reasons I already mentioned. No, Green, it does not. I'll actually talk about the Mark of Mastery a little more later, but if you want a quick and easy answer right now, it's like the difference between a Jedi Knight and a Jedi Master in Star Wars. Yes, the parallels between Kingdom Hearts and Star Wars keep going. So, oh my god, yes, we get it. Yes, yes, that's great. Can we get on with the credits, please? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be breaking for lunch after this, of course. And then, soon, Unlimited power. I do find it interesting that Yensid insists they go through their Mark of Mastery, given that Yensid is either A, someone who should know that it's a more of a social, cultural thing than anything else, or B, doesn't know and is just an idiot. I'm not sure which of those is true. I disagree with that, Thanatos, personally. See you tomorrow, Fuke. We will be assuredly going through Birth by Sleep tomorrow. Because we're going to start that as soon as I come back from lunch. As soon as these frickin' credits stop playing so I can show the frickin' secret ending. Okay, here we go. Let's turn this back up. Maybe. Are we... It's still... There's still like a little bit of music. Okay, it's kind of fading. Here we go. Okay.
I wanted to tell you right away about memories from the past that sleep within you, and about the pieces that will tie you to your future.
So again, as I mentioned,
Sora,
Recoded happens
Riku,
between Kingdom Hearts
Kairi.
2's ending.
The truth behind the Keyblade has found its way through so many people, and now I know that it rests in your hearts. Sora, you are who you are because of those people, but they're hurting, and you're the only one who can end their sadness. They need you. It's possible that all your journeys so far have been preparing you for this great new task that's waiting for you.
We'll call it
I
Kingdom
should have known
Hearts
there were
3.
no coincidences, only links in a much larger chain of events. And now the door to your next journey is ready to be opened.
But first, Dream Drop Distance. Because, you know, we got to do that first. So now, Secret Ending. The new Secret Ending. This is brand new for the PS3 version. This is something they added just for this. That should play now? Yep. No? Wait. No, this is still not it. Damn it! We're still not there. Why is this taking 50 billion years? This is the original Secret Ending. This is in Recoded.
Yensid! I think we're finally close to figuring out where Ven's heart is.
Yay!
Is that so? Then that leaves only Terra.
Who is still missing, I remind
Right.
you.
And we've got to save all three of them.
The question is, what does Xehanort intend to do next?
Now, this was a pretty big
Xehanort,
reveal at the time.
his two
But I've
halves are
already
gone.
given away this reveal.
There was Ansem, who commanded the Heartless, and Xemnas, who commanded the Nobodies. Didn't Sora defeat them both?
Correct. Those two met their end. However, therein lies exactly our problem. Their destruction now guarantees the original Xehanort's reconstruction.
Huh?
Yeah.
Xehanort's heart, once seized by his heartless half, is now free. And his body, which had become his nobody, has been vanquished. Both halves will now be returned to the whole. In short, this means Master Xehanort will return.
And already
And
has,
you think-
actually.
You think that maybe he's gonna try something?
A man like Xehanort will have left many roads open.
Well, it doesn't matter what he cooks up. Me and Sora, we'll be ready. And Riku, too.
Yes, they are indeed strong, but not true Keyblade masters like you. Tell me, would a single one of you suffice if what you faced was not a single one of him?
What? What do you mean?
Mickey, please summon Sora hither. Riku as well.
Of course, but why?
To show us the mark of mastery.
Exactly, Samurai. Yay. Okay. Now the secret ending. Is it here? Ahem.
That was more difficult than I thought. But at least things are on track.
I'm going to pause just so you can see what we've got here. Even, Ienzo, Lexius, Issa, Lee, and over there is Dylan.
Lord Zemnis is nowhere to be seen, so that means the party's already begun.
Notice that he looks completely the same, Zigbar there. Other than his outfit.
Man,
It's the only thing that
does
looks different.
Xehanort scare me like nobody's business. The way he can see into minds. And it doesn't help that no one knows what it is that the old man wants. I wonder if even you know what's going on inside your own head.
I will be led wherever it is I am destined to go.
Clearly yellow
Sounds
eyes, by
to
the
me
way.
like you don't have a clue of your own.
Every Keyblade master is bequeathed a Keyblade of his very own. With the passing of time, as you can imagine, more and more Keyblades were forged to be handed down. But of all the Keyblades in existence, Master Xehanort's is the most ancient. That is my destiny. But it has yet to become a reality.
Hey, it's okay. This is all connected to the ancient Keyblade War, isn't that right? Whatever. I got my hands full with my own plans. So, which poor soul will it be?
Syx. He starts it with an S. So yeah, Xehanort's Keyblade is theoretically one of the Foreteller's one. Whether that's because he is the Foreteller, or because it's been passed down to him. Anyways, that's everything for Recoded, guys. I'm gonna go get some lunch happening, and as soon as I get back, Birth by Sleep. See you in a bit, guys.